Good afternoon, welcome to Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, alongside the superstar that is Darren Bent. By Jingo, we got a show for you this afternoon. We are coming live from Europa League winner James Maddison's golf day. We're going to chat all things Spurs with James himself in just a moment. Plus, we'll get his response to Simon Jordan's dig at him this morning. We'll also be chatting all things darts with Premier League semi-finalist Nathan Aspinall, comedian and a huge West Ham fan Tom Davies will be joining us, and we'll say hello to 7 times snooker king of the world Stephen Hendry. And of course, we'll be chatting about football. We'll be asking what next for Jack Grealish and discussing why on earth clubs go on a post-season tour. All that plus loads more big names as we come live from James Maddison's golf day. This is Drive. This is talkSPORT. And good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, Darren Bent, who's alongside me. Looking wonderful. Usually I have a long old chat with you, but I'm not going to do that because we do have alongside me not just FA Cup winner, but now of course newly out the box Europa League winner James Maddison. James, hello.
Hello, mate. You all right?
I'm good. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very good. Yeah. No, I've had a great turnout today. Awful weather, awful weather, but I've managed to have a shower and get changed, so I'm feeling human again.
Yes, I've only just seen Benty actually, because Benty had to get a train here and I was playing golf. I realised halfway through, Benty, that my change of clothes were just golf clothes. I could have just bought other clothes like James has got and you've got, but I decided to...
Looking well, though.
Just thank you. It's very kind. It's very kind. I enjoyed the golf day today. It was okay. I shot, I think I got 29 points. If people understand golf, they'll say that's not too bad.
Is that good? Bad?
Pretty solid, fairly solid.
What did you get?
No, I didn't play.
Can't play,
of course.
I was just out for moral support in the rain today.
We had some big names here. We've still got loads of people here because we go on in tonight. You've got an auction. I'll explain how people can donate money as well to a wonderful cause. So lots of big names turning up.
Yeah.
Ask James Maddison how Jack Wilshere got on today.
How did Jack do?
Jack didn't actually manage to make the day.
Forgot?
Yep. No, I think I've heard now. I think he had an emergency where he had to get on a flight yesterday. So
emergency holiday.
No, I don't know. Maybe I think it was maybe like a family matter or something. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. We love Jack.
We do.
And
love
he would have
Jack.
been here. He was here last year, so I'll give him the benefit.
He barely turned up for his own one.
That's right. We were with him a couple of weeks ago, and he got there with about 2 minutes to spare. Let's talk more about you, okay? Firstly, congratulations on winning the Europa League.
Thank you.
How on earth does that feel to be a Europa League winner?
Oh, it feels amazing, you know. We've heard it so many times from you lot in the media for ages about Spurs not winning trophies, and it's always been a black mark against the club's name for as long as I can remember. And yeah, we put that to bed because we lifted a European trophy, and especially to see Sonny lift it in Bilbao was just a special moment, and yeah, no one can ever take that away from us now.
I mean, listen, it was incredible. I won't say it's the best game I've watched, but you managed to get it over the line. And as you said there, Son, who's been so consistent for so long since he got there, to watch him do that finally at the end of it, because he's had a tough time. He's not been at his usual 10 out of 10 standards, but for him to lift it, that must have been nice to see.
Yeah, because he deserved that for the last 10 years of being a Premier League great, where they just haven't managed to get over the line. And I've been at Spurs for 2 years, and you get very quickly labelled as a Spursy type player because people want to drag you down with that title. And Sonny's had it for 10 years because he's never won anything. Harry had it. You know, you all have it if you play for Spurs, but I watched him lift that trophy in Bilbao on behalf of all of us. So, so happy for him as a person, so happy for everyone at the club, all our supporters, and yeah, we had a good celebration after as well.
So I've got a really question for you, because it has been a really strange season for both of you, because he's a Man United fan, obviously you Spurs. How did it feel for you? I know you're delighted to have won that Europa League, and fair play to you, you've already deserved it. But when you look at what happened in the league, is it almost a case of you should put that to bed?
It's not put it to bed and forget it, because we know we have to be better than that. But I think it was quite clear from the new year onwards as well, kind of what the manager was prioritising a little bit. It was clear for us to see, clear for everyone else to see. Just from team selection, every game, listen, the manager's a winner, he wants to win. Even after we lost to Brighton at the weekend, he was still fuming. Like, he was angry, even though we'd just won the Europa. Like, because once you're on the touchline and his team's out there representing, losing, it hurts him, because he's been a winner everywhere. And I'm glad that he's still like that, because it installs it into us, and that's why. Listen, at the start of the season, I know it was a big thing, but he said, I don't usually win, I always win in my second year, which is a big thing to say, and we all thought it, didn't we? But then he managed to go and do it again. We did it again. And so I've got every trust in him and every belief, whatever, in what he's saying, because he can get over the line with trophies. So, yeah, the Premier League season was pretty unacceptable, finishing where we did, but I think if you look at the context around it, it probably wasn't a true reflection if we just tackled it normally.
I'll take that season.
Yes, of course, yeah, trophy, and of course Champions League football next season is incredible. It's interesting, when you started that little chat with us, you said you lot, the media, some more so than others, because since you won the Europa League, our very own Simon Jordan had a bit of a ding-dong with you, James. Take a listen to this. This was from this morning's show.
I think it still needs some time to sink in, but
it's good that they listened to the show and up their performance in the. Oh, he didn't play in the game, did he? Oh yeah.
Well, we have a bit of problem with that.
I mean, the ultimate Madison.
Well, I'm sure you're aware of what he said, because you and I had a little chat about this on the golf course earlier on. And one of the things Simon Jordan was suggesting was the fact you didn't play the final. I know a few other people have said that, which I think is a little bit embarrassing, if I'm being brutally honest, because when you win a trophy, it's very much like winning the Premier League. It's a campaign. If you don't play in the last game of a Premier League season, you're still part of the squad, an integral part of it as well. But have your say on the matter. How do you feel when people say that you didn't play in the final, etc.?
No, I don't want to get into a pillow fight with Simon Jordan, but listen, even with the Roy Keane thing and the Simon Jordan, it's all a little bit tongue-in-cheek, you know what I mean? Over the course of the season as a player, you have to accept people in the media giving you criticism, and that's part and parcel. But when you win the trophy as a club, if you're not entitled to have a little dig back, then what's the point? People always want personality in players, and then they moan that there's not enough players with personality, and showing it off to the media. They're all robots with the same generic answers, and then the minute we have a bit of personality, we kind of get shut down for that as well. So no, I'll never change. Simon replied the starting lineup, didn't he? The screenshot of the starting 11 saying I didn't play. But to be fair, that just tells me that Simon Jordan doesn't really quite understand what it takes to be a successful team, because it's not just about the 11 players who play. It's not even about just the players in general. It's about the team behind the team that's just as important, you know? And I'm not even just talking about footballers in the back. I'm talking about the player liaisons who look after all of us and all our families, the physios, the canteen ladies, the gaffer, the coaches. We all win together. From the start of the season till the end, It's tough, man. The Europa League run is tough. It's a long season, especially with the new format with the extra games. And it takes everything. It takes all the squad, all players used, all staff involved to get us, the players, in the right place to be able to go and win. And we did that, and we're so happy. So we win as a collective. So everyone involved wins. The Tottenham fans win. We all win. So if Simon wants to try to take that away from me, then be my guest. But you know, maybe just eat a bit of humble pie, put your hands up and say, OK, maybe James Maddison did win this season.
Yeah, I hope it's a big piece of humble pie as well. Listen, just a quick look back at the Europa League in more detail before we look ahead to the Champions League, because at the beginning of the competition there was a few teams, Spurs being one, that everyone was like, they're the favourites, they should win it, they're a big team. Did you feel as though that was the case as a player in the dressing room before matches? Did you think this is ours to lose now?
Well, we were the favourites, weren't we, with the bookies, and it did change it slightly this year with the Champions League teams not dropping down into the Europa League once eliminated. But there was no... And this comes from the gaffer as well. I don't want to keep praising the gaffer, but he installed in us that we're going to win this competition. We can win this competition. Having that mindset, it doesn't matter who we play, we can beat them. And then as we got further in the competition, that belief just kept growing and growing and growing, because what he was saying was actually coming to fruition, you know what I mean? We managed to finish in the top 8. It was obviously the new format this year, so no one kind of knew how it would work or how many points you'd need to get into that top 8. We managed to get in. We had 2 great... Hoffenheim away on game week 7 of the group, and at home to Augsburg, we won both to just get in the top 8. And then from there, we just grew strength to strength, and it all ended in that night in Bilbao. And like Benny said, it was an awful game, even as a Spurs player. It was awful, and it was a proper final with 2 cagey teams, but Brennan managed to get his toenail on a ball that trickled over, and that was the difference. So,
do you know, we spoke about him before the game, didn't we, about Brennan Johnson, and we said, we put a bet builder together, and I said he'll get a goal in, because he took a little bit of criticism when he first got to Tottenham as well. People saying the price tag was a big thing, and I know it's not his fault, the price tag, but he has scored some important goals this season.
And he scored a lot of them as well. I don't know how many he finished with, 18, 19 goals. For someone who's took a hell of a lot of criticism to almost, especially, I can't remember, it was early in the season, he was getting a bit of criticism on social media. It was a big thing that he'd come off it and just took a step away and deleted his account. But then to bounce back like that and finish with them numbers and score in the semi-final and the final, like, I take my hat off to him. I love Brennan. He's such a good boy, such a good lad. He's my best mate at Tottenham, and he deserved that. He's got a lovely family. His family and my family, they're really close. He's got good people around him, and I couldn't have been happier that it was him that scored the winner.
That's nice. Champions League football next season. Oh my goodness, how exciting is that for you and for Spurs as well? When you look at your current squad, do you think, because it's such a long season now, not just of course League Cup and FA Cup, but Champions League takes a lot out of you? You've seen that with like Newcastle and Aston Villa in recent years. When you look at your squad, do you think it needs reinforcements?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah, because we did... Listen, we had a lot of injuries this year, to be fair, but that can happen, you know. Every team goes through it, and you need to be ready for that. I think we've obviously got people at the club that's job it is to look at that and prepare well for that, and I'm sure they're working away now with the manager and the scouts and the recruitment and everything. But we're going to have another year like this year with the domestic competitions, Premier League and a European competition, which has extra games in the group stage now. So you need to have a squad to be able to manage that, and hopefully we do by the start next season. Yeah.
I think that's going to be the key. I don't think you can have, now it's the Champions League, you just can't have, as you said there, because I think your injuries were quite bad when you look at your starting 11. I mean, you talk about your centre halves were missing, midfield players, goalkeeper, but I do think to be able to compete certainly better than you have this season with the Premier League form and the European form, you're going to have to add bodies to your squad.
Yeah, well, we need to manage it better. Everyone knows that, because the league form hasn't been acceptable to where we finished in the league. But I'm sure, like I said, Benty, there'll be people that are paid to do that job. I mean, I'm not thinking about that myself. I'm letting the recruitment do that. I'm trying to enjoy my day than talk about the politics of transfers. But yeah, I'm sure that's well underway.
How do you view the season? Because Andrew's interviewed afterwards, and I think the interview said, "How do you see your season?" He said, "I thought it was a great season, right?" I can't remember what Bentley's view on it is, but maybe mine's different to his, because I'm a Man United fan and we're right at the bottom.
No, yours was awful.
And well, my view was, if you win the Europa League and get Champions League football, you've won a European trophy, and we've got Champions League football next season. It's a good season. It's a really good season. Because your Tottenham's league form wasn't up to scratch, because Spurs are a massive club and it should have been so much better, how do you view your season as a whole?
amazing, historic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you ask me in 20 years, Goldstein, when you're still coming to my golf day in 20 years, I'll remember this season forever. So, you know what I mean? It's okay. We had a bad league form, but what's it all? What is football all about, though? It's about that's why it's been held against the club's name for so long, because it's about trophies. If you offered me 5th now and just take away the Europa League, I'd laugh, wouldn't I? I'd laugh at you. So it's all about silverware, and especially with this club, I'm so grateful and so happy that I was.
Before we let you go, I really appreciate you coming on our show, and we're here because, of course, it's your golf day, and it's a big fundraising exercise. We want to raise as much money as we can for a worthy charity. Tell us a bit more about it and how people can donate.
Yeah, so when I first put the golf day together with the team, again, reverting back to the point about Simon, the team behind the team, I've got such an amazing team behind me who make this day happen, and it's been honestly, it's been an amazing day. But I wanted to distribute the money that we raised to different charities that are close to me, something that means something to me. So year one we did it for Sophie Sparkle. Sophie was a young girl, Norwich fan, who I walked out as a mascot, who had a rare type of bone cancer, who sadly passed away. But she's got honestly a beautiful family, and we raised lots of money to help with the cause and the diagnosis and stuff, which was really helpful. Year two we did for the Noah's Ark Children's Hospice, which is North London based, so Tottenham based, and I actually went there on a player appearance and met Sophie, the CEO there, and some of the children, and that was unbelievably eye-opening. So what the work they do there for the kids and how they help was special. So last year was for that, and then on to this year, it's for my godbrother Jacob, so my mum's best mate, so my godmother, her son Jacob, he suffers from cerebral palsy, and he's here today. I think he's just turned up while I think I've seen someone in being wheeled in, but so we're making today all about him. He's from Coventry like myself, charismatic, beautiful, lovable human. You'll meet him later. He'll be buzzing to meet you. And it's for 3. I let him choose. I asked him which charities in Coventry are closest to him that help him the most, and there's 3. So it's Tiny Tim's, Ladybug Lodge, and Me and D charity. So they help him and his family cope with what his demands and what needs, because it's not easy. But he's one hell of a person. He's got so much love to give, and I can't wait to go and see him and raise lots of money for him. Yeah.
Brilliant. Let me remind everyone listening to this, you can head to the James Madison Invitational Instagram page and you'll find the link there. James, listen, thanks so much for coming. Thanks for the invite as well for the golf day, and I really appreciate your time, and well done on becoming a proper winner at Spurs, right? Europa League, and of course you've got Champions League football. It couldn't have happened to a nicer fella.
Thank you,
you're
Goldstein.
a superstar. Well
Cheers,
done.
mate.
Well done. We're going to have a quick break, more for myself and Darren Bent, and loads of big names coming up right after this, live on Drive on talkSPORT. You listen to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, alongside a Motorpoint, live from James Madison's Golf Day. Thousands of cars, all at unbeatable prices, guaranteed. Head to motorpoint.co.uk for details. Before the break, we were speaking to James himself. We've got loads of big stars coming up. If you missed any of these, you can go to the website talksport.com and listen again, or just download the free-to-download app. The big names continue. In about 10 minutes' time, we'll be joined by a 7-time snooker champion of the world, Stephen Hendry. But I'm delighted now to say we could speak to an absolute, it says legend here, let's go above legend, superstar, legend, whatever you want to call him. Leicester City's Premier League winning captain, Wes Morgan, joins us on Drive. Wes, how are you?
I'm good. I appreciate the introduction. Yeah,
oh, well, listen, you are a proper superstar, right? I mean, there's superstars and you've won the league and you've won it with Leicester in one of the most historic moments ever, not just in Premier League football, just in football.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
I think you get top billing for that reason. We'll talk football in a minute. Firstly, how are you? How's your golf? Are you playing out there?
Yeah, it's the conditions are not the best. Golf game's never been good, so no high expectations there. Got round. I had a good team. I think we did well overall because of my high handicap.
What are you playing off?
Do I have to say that live?
Yeah, you can. You do. I play off 21, so that's fine.
Okay,
Which
so
club?
28, but I think I should be more. But I did okay. I did.
That's you, innit?
Let me just put your wide down there. 20, no, I'm 21. 28. I mean, what? Okay, did you tally up your score today? Do you know what you went round in?
I let the guys that know what they're doing do that.
This all sounds very suspect.
Yeah,
it really does.
Nah, the guys I was with played fair, and probably I think overall in the table we finished maybe about third or fourth. So
was your big golf when you was playing?
Nah, I didn't play at all. I only played when I retired.
Oh wow!
Is it difficult? This is a serious question. You're very big.
Yeah.
Right. I just find little people like James Madison, Jack Wilshere. They look better, right?
They look aesthetically better.
Yeah.
I think Crouchy a good golfer.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
what's he using? It's a golf club. What's that?
But Gareth Barry's out there. You know, he's not small.
You have to have your clubs specially fitted, I'm guessing, right? They're going to be big old clubs.
Yeah, but I think all the the guys that want to try and take it seriously will have it fitted.
Yeah.
You know, I got told that's the best way to do it, and you should have a better game, but I've not seen the results of that yet.
Okay, it was tough out there as well. Windy, rainy, it was horrible.
Yeah, the conditions were terrible. Soaking wet right now, but got through it. Got through it somehow.
You have to dig in.
Just before we move off the world of golf, there were two par threes. One, if you got hole in one, you got a car, and the other one, you got a Rolex. You get on the green for either of them?
No, so the Rolex one, far left, had to shot, 4 left.
Okay.
And closest to the pin.
Oh, yeah?
That wasn't bad, to be fair, on the edge of the green.
I was on the edge of the green as well.
But
so
yeah, you know, for my standards, that was good.
Okay. Should we talk football?
Yeah.
Let's start with your old side. Oh, dear. Do we have to start with Leicester? We should start with Leicester.
I know.
What happened? Why? I mean, over the last 10 years since you were there and you won the Premier League to where we are now, I can't remember a bigger fall from grace for a football club. Can you?
Yeah, it's tough. You know, I've left Leicester in a good place, I'd say. My final game was the FA Cup final, and yeah, you know, things was only going on up, and never could I foresee them obviously having a drop off like they have. It's sad to see, and you know, I think what was great, they actually bounced back, and you think, right, you got a second chance of it, and you know, I think everyone can see it's been a terrible season. There's no hiding away and shying away from that. But yeah, there's a lot of things that probably need to be addressed, and a lot of issues that's going on in the club and why it's happened. And hopefully next season a lot of the wrongs will be put right. And I'm not sure who's going to be in charge. I'm not sure what the team's going to look like, but hopefully, we can bounce back again. Leicester can bounce back again, and yeah, try and stay in the Premier League if they can.
It definitely feels like this is one of those kind of rebuilding periods, because when you look at that great team that you had, Vardy was probably the last one, and he's obviously just gone now. So that kind of mentality, that spine of the team all of a sudden is brand new. Do you think that it was always going to happen once the likes of yourself, Hoofy, we've had him in the studio a few times, obviously Casper left, now Vardy's obviously gone. It was always going to take a bit of time to kind of transition to where you guys got to?
Yeah, you know, I always think, you know, all the great teams you see throughout the years, you know, has a expiry period. I'd say, you know, all the best players will eventually leave, the core of the team will eventually change, and I think a key to kind of keeping that continuity is the recruitment. And it's difficult because you're never going to get the same player like for like, but if you can get close enough and keep that kind of identity, you can still kind of maintain and keep them high levels. And looking at the Leicester team, they're probably not up to that kind of standard that the former players were and the former team were, and I think that's fair to say because performances shown that. And it's hard because you're never going to replace the players that have gone exactly the same. You know, we were talking about the likes of Riyad Mahrez, N'Golo Kante, Vardy. You know, it's hard to replace those goals. It's hard to replace that creativity, that spine, that steel in the team. And yeah, we've seen that with many teams, and that's now including Leicester.
Last question before I let you go. We have to talk about the manager. There are reports that Ruud is going to lose his job. What do you make of that situation? Do you think he should be given another chance or not?
Yeah, I like Ruud. You know, he's coming to a difficult situation. You know, yeah, people have said in some of the games, could you have changed your tactics, the shape, change things a little bit to kind of create something different, and that might have been a bit too late to come in his tactical selection. But I think to kind of change managers all the time is not healthy. It's a fresh start, it's a fresh new season. Why not give him a chance? Because there's plenty of time in that season at the beginning to change manager, change the direction of things. And yeah, I think he should be given a chance and give his own opportunity to show what he can do, because he's coming to a situation which isn't ideal. He's not been able to bring any players hardly, and now going to the next season there's going to be a points deduction, so Ruud's already aware of that, and our new manager that's coming in might be put off by that. So yeah, we'll see. As much in the dark as you guys, I'm afraid.
Okay. Wes, listen, thanks so much for coming on our show. Round of applause for Wes Morgan. He won the Premier League, you know. Superstar. What are you doing now? You're going to go and have a show? You staying for a bit? We're going to catch up with you later on?
I've got to get to that Unity Cup game. So I'm going to say probably my buys now and head over to the Trinidad and Tobago versus Jamaica game.
Great, okay. Well, listen, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for your time.
Brilliant.
We're going to have a quick break. You listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, alongside big names coming up. Tom Davis will be joining us. Good to see you. Tom Davis will join us. Nathan Aspinall will be with us. Stephen Hendry and loads of other big names. So make sure you stay with me and Benny live on Drive on talkSPORT. It's a drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent. We're live from James Madison's Golf Day. Still to come, we'll be joined by a number of guests from the world of football here, as I've just told you, at James Madison's Golf Day. First, though, I'm delighted to be joined on the show by a former cruiserweight champion of the world, one of the nicest people you're ever likely to meet, one of my favourite people on the planet. He should be knighted, if you ask me. Tony Bellews here.
Stop being a coward.
We could say something else.
Be nice, weasel.
And alongside, equally as lovely, it's Locksmith from Rudimental. How are you both?
All good. Bit wet.
Yeah,
Bit wet. It was wet out there, wasn't it?
But you know, Lock and T, we came through.
Did you play together?
We did play together.
We come as a duo, bro.
Okay.
That's how we come. We come in twos.
This ain't sounding convincing.
So glad that you're in between. I'll address both of you one at a time so people listening will know. So,
Sweet.
Tony,
Yes.
what's your golf like? What do you play off? How did you play today?
I play off too many, first and foremost. 19.4, but I scored 33 points today, so
Okay.
I've done okay.
That
You
is
know,
good.
and my partner in crime, he's a top player. He plays off 6.
Oh, that's proper golf.
I don't think it is. I think I'm in between. Anything below 5, I think you get considered as a decent golfer. Me, I can shoot mid-80s or like today, 90s.
So hold on, what are you?
I'm 21.
So what does that mean?
That means I'm better than him.
Yeah, that means he's got a lot of
Wait,
shots.
I didn't need that number to convince me that you're better than me. I'm not having that argument with you today. We've got lots of boxing to talk to you both about, all right?
Okay.
Let's start with you, Tony. There's a number of big fights coming up, a number of big fights we've seen already this year. I was lucky enough to be at the Ben Eubank one as well. I know you were there. The fights we've seen so far, are they up there with some of the best? Because, in fact, we'll stay with the Ben Eubank one because a lot of people thought it was a bit of a joke fight. Not me. I grew up watching the Dads fight, so I was so excited about seeing
Me
this
too.
one. And I want another one because I'm sort of Team Ben, so I want
Same.
a Ben victory. But how did you rate that fight?
It's one of the best fights I've ever seen live. It lived up to all expectation. I told anyone that would listen, watch this fight. It cannot disappoint. It quite simply can't disappoint because in Chris Eubank Jr., you've got someone who thinks he's a great boxer, but he's actually not. He's a better fighter than he is a boxer. And then you've got someone in Conor Ben who is a good fighter and wants to just get stuck in. When you gel them two things together, it can't help but not disappoint. So it's like a chemical equation. when you put two chemicals together, you're going to get an explosion, and that's what happened on the night. It was unbelievable. The press from Conor Benn to push back a middleweight for so long, so early in the fight, but ultimately size is a thing in boxing, and that only shows in the second half of fights. After 10 rounds, I had a pretty level. I thought Chris Eubank Jr. came strong in the last two, and I think that was the difference on the night. I don't think it was a 4-round swing in any stretch of the imagination, but Chris, the right man, won on the night. It'll only serve Conor Benn well, to the experience now. He's been at championship level. He's been with a much bigger guy, but I'm excited to see the rematch. It's got to happen.
You know, you say it's got to happen now, Tone. I'm a little bit, because me and Andy, listen, I love the fight as well, but we've kind of disagreed on the situation as to when the rematch happens. Now, do you think they should jump straight back in, or would you like to see Conor Benn or Chris Eubank Jr. go their separate ways, maybe try and chase a world title, and then maybe eventually meet again, or do you think it's about timing?
They can't avoid it and go separate ways purely for the fact of, if Conor goes down to 147, he ain't going to be fully ready to go back to 160 straight away. He can't do it. And for Chris Eubank Jr., he cannot go anywhere near anything else but 160, because the minute Chris Eubank Jr. goes to 168, he ain't coming back down to 160. So it's got a very short lifespan, this rematch. It's got to be done the sooner the better. If I'm being brutally honest, the sooner the rematch happens, in my opinion, it favours Conor Benn, because he's the younger fighter who's took less damage and has had a much lesser career with much less experience. For someone like Chris Eubank Jr., it's going to take a while to turn around, and it's going to take a while to recover, because that was a hard fight for him. He was shook a number of times. He felt the shot. He'd also done the same to Conor. Conor's felt it, and he got shook a couple of times. But ultimately, the younger you are in this game, it's a young man's game. And Conor is the young one.
Locksmith, I'm going to bring you in just a minute. I know you're a big Arsenal fan, so I have a lot of laughs with that. But just
the cheek of you, honestly.
My Lord. You do know that's me, brother, and I will strike you for me.
So you've got to get past Bentley first.
No, Bentley's just stepped back, bro. So keep getting bread, Goldstein.
Oh, sorry.
Goldstein is the weasel who supports Manchester United and has never stepped foot there. Like, he's not from there. He's one of them.
Come and hit me.
We'll have... Okay, no, right? We'll have fun with football in just a moment, but just staying with boxes, Moses Toma was fighting at the weekend.
Yeah,
now, he's some fighter, and I think it was 3 knockdowns, and the last one sort of ended the fight. Just in your view, tell me how great a fighter he's going to go on to be. There's no doubt in my mind.
That's the future of the heavyweight division, right there. That boy is so equipped. He's got so many skills, so many assets. He's unbelievable. The only thing that I worry about with Moses is the size. But ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant, because look what Alexander Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Alexander Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's an outstanding talent. I think he's got a good team around him, Ben Davison and Lee Wiley. Wiley is the brains that study everything. And they use what we call video analysis now in boxing. They're the one team that use it to the way I used to use it. I wasn't the most talented, and physically I wasn't very gifted. I just had a good boxing brain. I was able to study the fighter enough to pick up enough up on the mistakes that they made. Ben Davison is the first person I've seen do similar to what I used to do. He studies religiously, and he goes so much on that video analysis stuff that it pays off for the fighters. So I just think Moses Tuma is the future.
Okay, let's have some fun. Let's talk Arsenal. Good season.
I think it was an exciting season. What I love about what we've done is we've gone up a level, and we've also had some really special moments. I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to be like, well, you haven't won anything, and I get it, I understand it, but the progression and the trajectory of what we're doing is what I love about the club. Now, that Real Madrid moment was just like something that's going to live in history in my hearts and my son's hearts, and Arsenal fans across country forever. What Declan Rice did and what Arsenal did, it's just phenomenal. And I feel like we are a transfer signing away from touching silverware on so many levels and dominating football. Now, I'm not trying to be one of them Arsenal fans that chat out their rear ends. I'm just trying to be realistic. I feel like we've played well without having the squad that we needed to have, the injuries that we've had, and if we can just beef that up across the board, up front, evidently, I feel like we've got a good chance.
Do you think that's the biggest position that Arsenal need to? So if there's 120 million to spend, would you be happy spending all of that on a centre forward?
I think, as it stands, I think yes. I think anyone would say definitely 100% yes. I still feel like there's still mistakes within the squad in that centre midfield area, and I feel like we've seen Declan Rice, who I'm a massive fan of, being freed up when you have the likes of Partey being in there.
Yeah.
So if we can give a little bit of backup for Partey, because I feel like Partey's going to have an injury or someone like that. He's going to have an injury in there, and then Dec's going to have to drop back deeper, and he's not going to be able to do what we know that he can do. Yeah. So if we can beef up that area, centre midfield, as well as getting a striker, I feel like that would be the ideal situation. We need goals.
Do you know what? It's
just having just having 7 goals amongst midfielders and like 6 and 5s is not good enough at this level. No. So we need goals, and that is just evident in stats in the games that we've had, and we need to have the rub of the green as well. You know, you look at the red cards we've had over the season, we look at the referee decisions, the VAR decisions. I'm not trying to make excuses, but we just look at those decisions and we think to ourselves, wait a minute, we've lost out on like 12 to 15 points there, just on those decisions alone. So hopefully next season, I don't know, I've got a stand to do the treble, but I'm a dreamer.
People are acting.
Remember I said that?
People were acting shocked what Declan Rice done. I weren't shocked. My strength and conditioning coach was Everton's head fitness coach for 10 years. He went with Moyes and he went to West Ham. And he come back and he said to me, Declan Rice is the best midfielder I have ever seen. Wow. And I was like, what do you mean? He said to me, he said, Tone, he's only showing 50% of what he's got. He said he will score goals, he can do this, he can that. And I was like, Dave, he's a really good, I think he's an amazing midfielder. He said, Tone, trust me, when he goes somewhere, he's going to show everything. Right, Billow said this to me when he was at West Ham.
Let me give you a prime example, yeah? When I'm in my sim room at home, I feel like I'm Rory McIlroy. I feel like I can spray the ball, I can do draws, fades, I can hit the ball where I want to hit. When I get on the golf course, it's a whole different story. And I think Declan Rice has just literally got a little bit of a barrier at the minute when he gets out on the football pitch to what he can do. Once he unlocks that, then I think he's just going to be unbelievable.
I think he's an unbelievable player. Them free kicks where he scored, I mean, obviously none of us have seen him do that before, but I've just been waiting for him to explode, like Billows was telling me, and he was saying to me, Tony, he's unbelievable. So he's doing it now.
Another thing, everyone forgets the injuries that we've had. Like, what we've achieved with the injuries we've had a centre midfielder, like a deep playing centre midfielder up front scoring goals for us.
Yeah. Let me just write down what you've achieved. Go on.
Oh, honestly.
He was waiting for it, wasn't he? He was waiting for it.
Honestly,
I just wanted to get to that. I mean, like, well, what have you guys achieved? That's Man United. Because you finished below Everton. I just wanted to let you know you did finish below Everton.
We won't talk about it.
You did finish below Everton.
Can I just say...
let's just also fit in that David Moyes took charge after Ruben Amorim and absolutely blew him out the water. You know, I mean,
just that's quite important.
We need to put this down as notes because the job David Moyes has done has been severely overlooked. How David?
I don't think it has been overlooked.
No, it has, because how is David Moyes not in for manager of the season? I don't care if it's half a season. There's players in there who've only played half a season for the player of the season.
Tone, if it's down to me, I'll give you the Premier League title as well right now.
Mate, I'm telling you now, what the job David Moyes has done is disgracefully been overlooked, in my opinion. And he come into Everton at a time of real panic, because for me as a fan, I wasn't even thinking about the new stadium. All I was thinking about was survival. And then the gaffer comes home, and before I know it, we're in and amongst it. And we're winning games, and we're scoring goals, and I just think that job that he's done is so overlooked. David Moyes is one of the best managers in the country. He won a European Cup at Tottenham. No, he didn't. That was Ange. He won a European trophy at West Ham. Yeah. And I know for a fact he can do what he done at West Ham at Everton. I know he can. All he's got to do is be backed and believed in. And David Moyes will bring silverware back to Everton Football Club, one of the biggest football clubs in the country, one of the big 5 and 6 of the Premier League. David Moyes is the Messiah, and he's home.
Oh my goodness! Can we get off this subject? I don't even know how we got into this.
In all seriousness, because I have to let you go, but in all seriousness, right? Because you're here, I do want to speak to you ever so briefly about the horrific events we saw yesterday in your hometown, your beloved Liverpool.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Just a quick word from you about how important it is that the whole city sticks together and they do what they do best.
We do stick together, and I want to say, first of all, amazing for the first responders that got there, the police, the ambulances, the fire brigades, everything that come. They attacked the situation amazingly. I broke, and my wife was in tears when that news dropped yesterday. Obviously videos circulate around WhatsApp and stupid things like that, which they shouldn't do, but they do. me thoughts just go to the family, the young boy.
Just makes you feel sad, doesn't it?
It's just so that our city, my city, is the best and greatest city in the world. What we've been through as a city is unrecognisable. No other city's been through what we go through. No one gets it thrown out like we do as Scousers. This lunatic and I need him striking down literally and getting rid of him for the rest of his days, because it's a disgrace what he's done, and no excuses. What happened yesterday was an act of terrorism in my eyes, because he's terrified over 1 million people.
Listen, drive talkSPORT, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, Motor Point. We're live from James Madison's Golf Day. New car with same-day drive-away available on all cars. Book a test drive today. I do apologise if you heard anything in the last part of the show that may have upset you. It's live radio. There's nothing we can do, but apologies. Right, still to come, we look ahead to Saturday's Champions League final. It's live on talkSPORT. Now, of course, the big names keep on coming. In fact, so much so that when our next guest joined us alongside, I actually bowed to him. We're joined by Premier League, all-time record appearance maker, Gareth Barry's here. Hi, Gareth.
Good.
I felt. Can we just put your mic just in front? If we put that around there, that's perfect. I just felt as though. Oh, you've got your headphones. Could you take them off? They're around the wrong way, so we won't hear you. The nice people at home want to hear what you're saying. I just felt that because you're an absolute record holder and a superstar, that when you come into the room, we should all bow to you because you are the Premier League record maker, and there's not many players now that play and stay in the game for a long, long time. Do you think you're part of a dying breed?
Possibly, yeah. You don't need to bow though; it's fine. No, yeah. The game is always changing, isn't it? Blooming now, it's harder. It's getting harder and harder to play games as it is. The squads are getting bigger. The competition's getting bigger. When me and Bent started, it was mainly British players playing the Premier League, and then the whole world's over here now. So yeah, it's a completely different game, but yeah, still proud of what I achieved.
Got to talk to you about Aston Villa, of course, your former side, Champions League. Missed out on Champions League this year, but I mean they've been absolutely phenomenal. I mean they've been in the Champions League recently with Unai Emery. What have you made of them?
I think they've had an incredible season. I look back to my time with Manchester City playing in the Champions League. The first season we had there, we found it really, really hard to adapt to challenging for the Premier League and playing Champions League football. So I thought at the start of the season, Aston Villa playing Champions League and competing, I thought top 8 would be an incredible season. So for them to go right to the last game and have a chance to get in Champions League football again, I think Unai Emery deserved incredible credit and the whole squad. So yeah, absolutely gutted they just missed out.
What's your view on how they missed out? Because there's two arguments to be had, right? One is the goal should have stood, right? And the other one, of course, is you've got 38 games to get it right, and you shouldn't just hope that you get it right in the last one. But how do you feel?
Firstly, when I started worrying was the Europa final. As soon as Man United lost that game, I started feeling this is going to be a 10 times tougher game. You see what happened to Spurs.
Why do you think that?
Well, the celebrations will be slightly different.
Oh, I see.
The approach into the game is going to be slightly different. You saw the Spurs game to Brighton, that result.
Really
so that was the first way. But yeah, it is over 38 games, but that had a little impact in the last game for me personally. But yes, I think looking at the decision with the goal, the Morgan Rogers goal, for me, the referee's blown the whistle. You can't argue that the rules are the rules, but if he lets it go, I think they give the goal because it's clearly popped out the hands and he's rolled it in the net. So yeah, unfortunately that's just gone against them, and it's, as a fan, it's really tough to take. You see why the fans were upset. You see why Gabby Agbon was upset.
He's always upset.
No, you said it there, guys. When you look at where Aston Villa are now, they are a side that's always competing now for that top 4, top 5 as it is now. Because I feel like the middle teams now are equally as strong. So when we were playing, it was definitely, there was the top 4 for a reason, and then it was almost like everyone else scrapping for 5th, 6th, 7th. But now there genuinely is now about 6, 7, 8 sides that could get into that top 5.
Yeah, I think coming away from football now and watching as a fan and talking to neutrals, I think it's much better for the English game now. You see that the points totals are getting less and less. You see the gaps coming down. Obviously, the teams coming up are struggling at the moment, but I think that the rest of the Premier League, there's no easy games. I mean, the Premier League's talked about no easy games, but they're getting really tough, and the results are harder to call. So yeah, I think going forward, it's good for the English Premier League. So long may that continue.
A quick word about another one of your former sides, Man City. No silverware this season. Very bizarre for Pep and the rest. How tough a job do you think he's got with regards to a rebuild? Because a few players will be leaving. A few players, I mean, obviously most noticeably will be Kevin De Bruyne. Is it going to be a big rebuild? Do you think that Man City under Pep will be the force they were maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago?
I think he's got a big job over the summer. Yeah, it's going to be tough to get 3 or 4 maybe top quality players to improve, to compete again Champions League and to win the league. Liverpool are in a real good place. Arsenal just keep missing out. So yeah, I think he's got a real tough job on. So I'm looking forward to seeing who they're going to try and attract over the summer, and it won't be easy, no.
Okay, listen, thank you so much for coming on our show. It's a real pleasure. How was the golf, by the way? I didn't even ask you that. I should ask.
Actually, all right. I was in a good team. Lee Hendry's a dangerous golfer, and he played well today.
You look like you'd be a good golfer. All footballers are, right? Hand-eye coordination.
Yeah,
what
I
you
chipped
playing
it on a few holes. That's about.
What are you playing off?
11 today.
All these I mean, you should, by rights, Benny, you should be a great. I mean, you're awful with the golf club.
How can you say that? I played one time and you got.
You got a 12 on a 4.
I've heard he's the paddle man, though, Benty. That's what I've heard. The rumour in Birmingham.
To be fair, he's the paddle. I've not played yet, but he is the paddle man.
I beat you.
You play a bit of paddle?
I've played a few times. Yeah.
There we go. Set that one up. Nice.
Gabby's not partnering me though on bad things.
Gareth, listen, are you sticking around? We'll catch up with you later on. Okay, brilliant. A round of applause, Gareth Barry, everyone. I mean, we should all bow to him, right? We should all bow to him. We're going to have a quick break. The big names continue. This is Drive on talkSPORT. Welcome back to Drive Time on talkSPORT with me, Andy Goldstein. Darren Bent is alongside. We're live at James Madison's Golf Day. We've had some big names, actually, and they continue. I'll say hello to our next one off the conveyor belt in just a moment. Still to come, we'll be looking ahead to Chelsea's Europa Conference League final. That's tomorrow evening. It's live on talkSPORT, of course, against Real Betis. Just quickly, Newcastle United Sporting Director Paul Mitchell is to leave the club by mutual consent at the end of June, less than 12 months after his appointment. And the British and Irish Alliance Board is considering a proposal for hello to a superstar actor, comedian. I use the word comedian rather than funny man. I hate the words funny man. It's too much pressure, but we know he's a huge West Ham fan. Let's say hello to the brilliant Tom Davis. Hello, Tom.
Hello, chaps.
How are you?
Very well. Yeah, cold and wet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you not showered yet?
No. I'm literally. I'm going to try. I've got a thing tonight. I've got a gig tonight, so I'm going to try and go and get a sauna quickly.
Oh, it's very kind that you stay and have a chat with us.
And try and get some food. I've been sneaking around the kitchens trying to get something to eat after the game. I had that weird thing. I saw you at the halfway house, but the halfway house for me was like 4 holes in. So I'd had a burger. Yeah, I'd have liked it halfway through.
That's a good point, because we all started a shotgun start. We all started on different holes.
So it was my half. Yeah, it was like a quarter of the way in. So I've been starving. When you're 6'7", you're in this cold.
I've
just been watching Darren eat that pizza and leave the crusts. I thought I can't really just walk up to Benty and start like eating this crust of his pet. I could do that with my daughter, a toddler, but doing it to
don't do it. You know, you can see a dog eat and you go up to it and they growl. That's what he's like.
Oh, really? No. He goes back in as well. I mean, also, I couldn't introduce myself. Are you done with those crusts? Can I have those, please? Sneaking around for leftovers.
Before we talk about your team, West Ham, let's talk about your golf. How was it? What did you play off?
I've been climbing. I played off 28 today. Do you know what? Back nine was amazing. I played really. It came together a little bit more, but front nine was woeful. I stunk up the place. It was absolutely embarrassing.
Do you love golf? I'm so addicted to golf now.
I love it. I adore it. I like. Yeah, it's something. What I like is you can have a game against anyone, no matter how good they are. Like today, the two guys I was playing with. I mean, we got let down. Jack Wiltshire pulled out this morning. Yes. Just didn't turn up, which was disappointing. Because I was looking forward to seeing Jack.
Just 3 of you, was there?
Just 3.
Oh wow, that's tough.
Yeah, man down. Yeah, essentially a sending off. Yeah, having to go for a man down. It was, and for the first 9 holes, 2 men down because I was so bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was putting in it was an awful state.
How often do you play?
I've been busy. Fortunately, and also I have a 3-year-old. So the amount of times you can actually get out when you've got a toddler, is if you're at work all the time and then you're going to your missus, I'm going to go out and play 18 holes of golf. She's like, how about?
Let's talk about your beloved West Ham.
Yeah.
How long have you been a West Ham fan for? Why West Ham? I'm guessing it was the first game you went to as a kid.
No. I went to quite a few games before. It was for other family members. My dad's one of those people who supported. He didn't really support. He'd go to Fulham, he'd go to Arsenal, he'd go to any number of clubs. He just loved football. And I went to West Ham with other family members and just loved it. And just fell in love with it as a club and just felt, I think, the adrenaline and just being at somewhere like. But I go to a lot of football. I've sort of always. I love West Ham, obviously. I go to West Ham quite a lot, but I'd go and watch anyone. I just love football.
What sort of players were you watching as a kid? Give us some names.
It would have been Cotty, McAvenny, Dix was my favourite. I love Julian Dix. I loved everything he stood for. I played in a charity match with him and he absolutely ripped me to pieces.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I brought some new fancy boots.
Oh, no.
And they were a pair of white boots, and he turned around to me afterwards and he went, if you've got the receipt, you'll get your money back on them. You've not seen the ball. He's a lovely kid, but legend of a man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was, and later years, the Canio and all that, Trevor Sinclair and all that. So yeah, it's but very much just enjoy football. I love sport in general. I'm just terrible at nearly all of it.
How have you assessed West Ham season? Obviously, changed midway through. Potter comes in. I think you finished 14th this season. How would you assess it?
Well, I think finishing 14th on what has been not a particularly good season, finishing above the teams that we finished above is okay. You got to let Potter, hopefully. I was just saying to you before we came on out, I just feel that I don't quite know who. We don't feel like I don't know what West Ham are at the moment. I think and the teams around us who are sort of year 2 or 3 into their projects. When you look at Brighton or Fulham or Brentford. Who feel like that little bit further. Forest now, they feel like they've got an identity, and we feel that we're lacking that. And I think we need and I think you're going to have to come quite quickly into next season because I think, the likes of Spurs now with Champions League. I think United, we'll see what happens to United, but I think a lot of those teams around us, Wolves even, will come in sort of running, and I think we've got to find that pretty quickly. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of players we sign. And just how we start, sort of how we look as a team, I guess, is going to be the interesting thing.
We were talking to James Maddison at the top of the show. That's the reason why we're here. And we were talking about, the monkey's off the back now, right? For a long, long time, it was like Spursy. Now they've won it, right? And I just wonder, from your perspective as a West Ham fan, what did that Europa Conference League do? What did that win do for you and your club? I think
it was an incredible thing. I was still to this day gutted I wasn't there, but I would be standing here as a single man who just saw it at a weekend. I had 2 weeks off for the whole year. I was touring, I was filming, and I said to my wife, "We'll go away," and that was the 2 weeks. And so, mate, where'd you watch it? I watched it in a bar with a load of Italians supporting Fiorentina. So it was a hell of a thing to watch. But yeah, I think there's an element of that. But also I think football, it's dramatically changed, isn't it, in the last few years? I think when it comes to what they're run, being run as a business, I think the way that things are done, and I think weirdly that feels quite a long time ago now. As silly as it sounds, I think you're judged on quite quickly on how you're performing, and I think actually the levels seem to have grown. I think just looking at this season, and I don't think this has been the best Premier League season we've ever seen. I think Liverpool have been brilliant. I think they've run away with it, but I think there's been other teams in and around that who are sort of a little bit off it. And I think next year, could be a year where you go a lot of, even not necessarily money spent, but I think teams will feel like they re-up and they go, oh, they've grown, they've got a lot better. And I think at the moment, when I look at West Ham, my worry is obviously Jared Honor is incredible.
Jared
Honor. You ever heard that?
I've never heard that one. Have you heard that, Jared Honor?
Jared's amazing. And
his goal, by the way, was it 2 weeks ago? The little flick up and volley.
Mate,
that was incredible.
And just a love. I don't know if you've interviewed him, but he's just an absolute gentleman and embodies what I think West Ham and footballers should represent. He's great. I think Max Kilman, great season. But I think I look around that team and I'm like, I don't quite know what it is, and I just think, right, it needs what's Potter got to spend and what have you got, and then you worry what money have you got, So I think kudos. I think after he scored a great goal the other night, David didn't even celebrate, and you think, well, he's probably going to go now. So whatever's going to happen to Paqueta, that's a very West Ham problem.
I do think for West Ham moving forward, it is about what you can. Of course, you're going to have to bring in some players, I think, to make the squad a little bit thicker, and certainly the way that Potter wants to play. But I do think it's important that you however you have to do it, you have to keep hold of Jared Bowen, and that the club keeps progressing at the rate with Jared Bowen, because at the minute he's one of the best attackers in the league, in the Premier League.
He's phenomenal, but I also think what will be interesting is just there's a couple of young boys that have been away on loan, Potts and stuff, who will be interesting to see if Potter starts putting them into the team and. I mean, the Souček thing is, we were just talking just before we came on. I love Thomas. I think he's again a great advocate for the club. But how do you mould that into a team that is how Potter plays, football and whatever? So it's just, Bissaka as well this year. I think Bissaka was one of the signings of the season. He's mustard, And
you got him for a bargain, right? Because we paid 50 million for him from Palace.
But him and Jared together linked so beautifully. So important. But then, it's just the rest of it, and you don't want to get left behind. And it's going to be interesting to see. I think Leeds are a more formidable team coming up than the three who've just gone down. I think that if they spend the money well, they could be quite a threat. Burnley and Sunderland we'll see, but it certainly. I mean, you must have felt that as a United fan.
We don't need to talk about my team.
No, we do.
We should talk about it. I think it's a great. I mean, there's a fire sale there. That's like a pound shop now. Is everyone?
Feels like a pound shop.
Yeah. Do you know what I keep saying to people? If anyone's looking for a good drama to make, it's like that is Succession. What's happened at Man United? Essentially, we're watching in real time what is Succession. It's like, what is going on at that club? Because
I think it's depression.
Yeah.
It's Succession.
No, but I'm like, it's as much as we all have banter, we're football fans, but I'm like, I grew up in a time where Man United were the most dominant force in Europe. Europe, arguably the biggest club in the world. What has happened? It's like there's got to be a steward's inquiry as to what's going on there.
Why are you broken?
I mean, I was going to say thanks for coming on now, but I feel we're on such a negative note now. We haven't even talked about Arsenal doing nothing this year.
We're in a good place, Arsenal.
Just before I let you go, the aspirations for West Ham, you started off by saying, I don't know what we are. What's a good finish, apart from, of course, you know, a title or a trophy somewhere, but what is a good finish? Top 10?
I'd love to see, top 10, but I'd really like to see a good cup run again. I think what Palace have done this season should be an inspiration for everyone. I think, weirdly, the last 2 seasons, yourself, but Palace this year has really put the FA Cup back on the map. I think it's shout out to Palace and that team, and I think they've been amazing. So a good cup run would be amazing. But I just think just turning up and going, this is what West Ham are now. This feels like, and I think we've had quite a long time, and shout out David Moyes for everything he did for us. But
do you like the stadium now?
No.
Does it feel like home yet?
No.
Wow.
Okay. See, we're ending on a negative note.
Back
to Man United,
it's like having brought a crap house that you don't ever want to go back to.
Oh, really? Is that how it feels? Is that how it still feels?
No, look, the European nights were phenomenal. They were great, and those big games, your Tottenhams and stuff. It's still, mate. I loved Upton Park. I still to this day don't know why we started calling it the bowling ground in the last year.
That was bizarre.
It was insane, wasn't it? Yeah. All of a sudden, someone said a memo around. Go, let's just change the name of it for a year. But I still struggle there. It's not. But then football's moved on. It's a business now. It's not the same game, is it? You know what I mean?
You've been a superstar. Thanks. I know I drive you mad to come on, but I appreciate your time.
No. Thank you for having me.
I know you love
football. This is one of my favourite things to listen to.
Oh, that's very kind.
When I'm going to gigs and when I'm about, I listen and I watch the little clips.
Oh, that's
you two
nice.
are brilliant together.
Well, that's very kind. And you make it a perfect 3. Thank you so much for your time. Round of applause for Tom, everyone.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
We're going to have a quick break. More big names continue after this live on Drive on talkSPORT. This is Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent at Motorpoint. We're live from James Madison's Golf Day. Thousands of cars, all at unbeatable prices guaranteed. Head to motorpoint.co.uk. For details still to come, we'll be joined by a number of big names from the world of sport. Just quickly, Newcastle United Sport Director Paul Mitchell is to leave the club by mutual consent at the end of June, less than 12 months after his appointment. And the British and Irish Lions Board are considering a proposal for a sudden death extra time if the third and final test is a decider, which ends in a draw. The Lions play Australia this summer. It's live on talkSPORT. And back to the world of football. England's women's goalkeeper Mary Earps has announced her shock retirement from international football ahead of England's Euro defence this summer. Before we move on, watch.
How did Andy, right? Nice to see you, man.
I haven't seen you all day. God, I mean, you literally walk through the door and it's big name, big name, big name.
Trust me.
It's been incredible, isn't it?
That's been incredible. I haven't got a chance to ask you how golf was.
I think we've got a little bit of time. The golf, I played okay, right? So I play off 21, and it's a shotgun start because there's so many people here. So they start, some people on the first, some people on the second. You still play 18.
Like staggered start.
Yeah, and so we started on 4, we went 4-5 and ended on 3. I played okay. I played what's called bogey golf, which is you're going one over.
That doesn't sound good, that.
No, it doesn't sound good, you're right. But it's like if you should get a 4, like the pros, I was getting a 5. But I was doing that every hole.
Okay.
So there was a par 3, I was getting a 4, not great. But then I was doing that. And then the sort of wheels fell off about 4 holes from the end, but I got it back. I was okay. I scored about 28, 29 points, which is quite good. But it was difficult out there.
Yeah, I mean, it looks horrendous.
Do you know what? It was awful out there. It didn't stop raining.
Because obviously you did that, the weather.
Yeah.
We playing this morning football, the rain.
Oh, you were playing football this morning?
Yeah.
How'd you get on with that?
Yeah.
I like that outfit, by the way.
You like it? Oh, you got this?
I haven't got that one.
What, where? From where?
I'll be going back to them, yeah. How did you get on in the football?
Yeah, well, our team won it. A little bit lopsided, obviously, but we won the tournament.
Who's on your team?
The Amex. You know they always look after us, Brighton.
Oh, you played at Brighton?
Yeah. The rain that came down.
Oh, you had rain there on the coast?
Honestly.
Yeah, but you're footballer, you can do that. We're golfers. Difficult.
Yeah, see, this is what would put me off playing golf, because I'm looking at the conditions. I'm looking at the flag here. It looks like it's about to take off.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to play golf in that?
Well, if it wasn't here, if we weren't raising money for charity, etc., I would have gone after about 7 or 8 hours. Yeah, you've got to enjoy it, right? It's got to be sunny out there.
Like, how can you look at the flag? How can you enjoy that?
I didn't enjoy it.
Did you bunker it at all?
Do you know what's quite funny? I did a couple of times. But behind us is the 18th hole, right? And I played here with some friends of mine about 2 or 3 days after they did a live tour event here, and there was a big grandstand. And the grandstand was still here. My mate Tim on the 18th needed a great shot from about 80 yards to win it.
Yeah.
Overhit the ball by like 20, 30 yards, and he hit it onto the roof of the grandstand. Yeah. It then rolled down the roof, back towards the green, bounced onto the green, and was about that far from the... So it counted.
Wow.
Nothing you could do about it.
No round of applause or nothing.
He got a big round of applause, yeah, and a lot after. But today he would have gone about 40 miles past it. So I was looking for it. It wasn't there for me. But it's good to see you. And we've got more big names coming up between now and where are we? I mean, we've got a watch on 7. Oh, okay. We're halfway through the show. Oh no, but that's my golf watch.
Yeah, but it's got a time on it, I'm guessing.
No, it just says 513 yards away from the.
So basically, you've got a watch that doesn't tell time.
Hold on, that button. There you go. No, it doesn't tell the time. Right, time now for this.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Yeah, it's time now for today's Bet Builder with our friends at Paddy Power. Let's welcome to the show Dylan Orr. Oh, Joe's not...
Honestly.
Oh, Dylan Orr. We're looking at tomorrow's UEFA Conference League final with Chelsea play Real Betis in Poland. Let's say hello to Dylan. Can you hear me? How are you, Dylan?
Good, lads. Afternoon. How are we?
We are very well indeed. Thanks so much for coming on. Before we talk about our picks, can you explain how the Bet Builder works? And, of course, it's a charity bet. Remind us of the charity that will benefit, because we'll get this one right.
I will, of course. So the Attitude Foundation, who support a range of causes across the LGBTQ community, will hopefully be the beneficiary of this winning Bet Builder. And the Bet Builder, simply put, allows you to combine a range of markets into one single bet. So whether it's shots, corners, cards, you name it, and you can include it into one single bet.
Brilliant. It's a 5-leg Bet Builder. These are our picks. I've gone for, no surprise, Chelsea to win it.
Yeah, Chelsea to win. Look, it should be a good final. Betis, obviously, with Anthony, a bit more spotlight on them than they might have had in previous years. But Chelsea 5-6 to win the match, and it looks fair price.
Okay, Bent, you're up next.
Yeah, Dylan, I've gone for Cole Palmer to score or assist.
Yeah, look, a game he'll relish. Obviously, plenty of spotlight on him at the moment with his little dip in form, but he's still an incredible player and a look to shine in this final. 10-11 for him to score or assist at any time in the 90 minutes.
Okay, next up is producer Joe. He has gone for Anthony to have one or more shots on target.
Yeah, obviously he's in great form at the moment. All he needed was a move away from your club, Andy, and look what it's done for him. But 4-7 for one or more shots on target, and I can see him having 2 or 3, so one's definitely a fair price.
I can see you having 2 or 3. Let's go to the people's pick. They've gone for Anthony to be fouled 2 or more times.
Yeah, you'd imagine he'll play on the right side. Cucurella may well be marking him out, playing left back, and they might have a little duel for the 90 minutes, and it can force Cucurella or maybe even any of the midfielders into having to foul Anthony to stop him progressing with the ball. He's 2 to 5 to be fouled 2 or more times.
Okay, and the last one is yours, Dylan. What have you gone for?
I've went for a player I'm quite fond of, Levi Colwill, to commit 1 or more fouls. He gives us all in every tackle, and he may well just overstep the mark on hopefully 1 or more occasions for this bet to land. That's priced at 4 to 11, and altogether this bet builder comes to just shy of 9 to 1.
Brilliant, Dylan. Before I let you go, can you just confirm the odds and the value of the charity bet and the charity that may benefit one more time?
Yeah, so the charity is the Attitude Foundation, £10 bet builder, hopefully returning £90 for us.
Dylan, have a wonderful day.
Thanks, lads. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the day.
See, we will. There you go. That's Paddy Power's bet for today. Minimum odds 1 to 5 per leg. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Dylan, player I'm quite fond of, Levi Colwill. I mean, didn't see that coming.
Who said that?
Dylan.
I wasn't even listening to him. Is that what he said?
Yeah, I'm quite fond of Levi.
Is he quite? Is it just
That's
saying
what I'm saying.
because he was a little bit nervous?
Yeah,
he was on the
I think
radio?
so, because I've never heard that before.
No, I've never.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, at least we know what to get into Christmas. Right, we're going to have a quick break. The big names continue right after this live on Drive on talkSPORT in seconds. Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, the dancer. If you're watching on YouTube, Darren Bent. We're live from the James Madison Golf Invitational. We are, of course, here for the Tottenham and England midfielder, and he joined us on Drive earlier. Don't worry if you missed it, because we'll bring you that chat in about an hour's time. Or, of course, you can go onto the website or the app and listen again. He had his say on all things Simon Jordan. Go on, the matters. Remember, of course, you can donate to all the great causes this is by heading to the Instagram page for the James Madison Invitational. I don't know who wrote that. Right, Pep Guardiola, Benty, has suggested that Jack Grealish can leave Man City this summer. So, where next for the £100 million man?
Pulls it back, Grealish! 1-0 Manchester City!
Listen, it's been a nightmare the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, because we have 24, 25 players, and we have to give 5-6 players at home, and that isn't sustainable. So
a game where it's a team on a low block, well, that's Jack Grealish world, and if you ain't getting that opportunity, then you're not going to get an opportunity going forward.
I think when he looks back, when he does leave Manchester City, I think it's been a success.
I think he'd be playing his football in the Premier League somewhere else, I really do.
Let's see some more of Jack Grealish at his best.
Grealish onto De Bruyne, down the left, back into Grealish, it's 4-1! A man of the match performance, capped with a terrific goal!
Pep Guardiola said that Jack Grealish needs to be playing regular football next season, whether that's at Man City or somewhere else. Just a quick word on that, Darren Bent, because, listen, you and I are big fans of Jack Grealish. We think he's an exceptional talent. But the last 2 seasons at Man City, I know we won the treble, of course, but the last 2 seasons at Man City, he's not lived up to the expectation. Why is that?
I mean, he's had the injuries. Just lack of form. It looked like, to me, lack of belief, and that's one thing certainly when he first got to Manchester City. I never thought he lacked belief, the way that he could play, go past people, manipulate the ball. But I think it comes down to productivity. Not too many goals, assists, but we know how good he is. We know how good Jack can be, but it's almost like he's got to find that love and that want to go and do it again. And I hope if he does leave Manchester City, he goes somewhere and plays week in, week out, because I'm a big fan of Jack's. Big fan.
Me too. Talking to big fans, we're big fans of our next guest. He is in the semi-finals, hopefully the finals of the Premier League darts. It's all on Thursday at the O2. And if, by the way, you watch him walk to the hockey to take his darts out and he's limping, that's because he hurt his leg playing football on a golf day. Let's say hello to Nathan Aspinall. Hello, Nathan. How are you?
I'm very good, mate. Very good.
How is the thigh?
It's okay now. I've had a couple of Peronis, so I'm all right.
Good. Okay. I should point out that Nathan, you and I were teamed together.
Yeah,
today.
I've got a cute little video. Yeah, I've seen
it. He put me up to it.
How are you? Did you enjoy it today? It was tough out there, right?
It was tough, yeah. And honest to God, I've seen the winners then.
No,
the scores were ridiculous.
Go on. So what did we finish on?
I think we were 83. And third was on 94. Okay, so a little bit off. Okay,
do you not want it?
97.
Okay, so we weren't too far off it.
No, just 14 shots.
Okay, we were too far off.
But yeah, John Terry won it on. He was 4 under gross. So he's 9 under his handicap.
That's ridiculous.
So yeah, so I think there's a few bandits out there, but no, it was a good day.
Did he have as much fun as we did? Because it was. Not. I mean, we got absolutely soaked halfway, as everyone did, right?
Yeah.
And it was tough to keep your spirits up there.
Yeah, it was tough, but we had a laugh. You know what I mean? We, I think me and you carried the team, to be honest, honest, didn't we? Yeah, it was good fun, but yeah, it's something different instead of playing darts, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you was all right, to be fair.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you. You was pretty decent.
Thank you.
Better than I thought when he tipped up to the first team 5 minutes late.
Was he late?
I was bang on time, I think.
Oh, was you?
Was that? What is it? Always
I disagree.
Always keep wanting more. All right. Sorry about that. Let's talk about you and the world of darts, because you've made it through to the last 4. Of the Premier League. It's on Thursday. It'll be live on the darts YouTube channel, the talkSPORT darts YouTube channel. How is your darts at the moment? I mean, that's some achievement, right? Because when I saw the Premier League, when it was announced actually on talkSPORT, every single player looked like they could be in the last 4. So it's a real tough league to get through, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, for me, just to make the top 4 is a massive achievement. You know, obviously the scrutiny that I got, and certainly Geraint Price as well. We were the 2 people that everyone was saying they shouldn't be in. Other people should be in ahead of him, and you know, I think we've both done ourselves proud this year to make the top 4. It's probably the toughest Premier League I've ever been involved in. The standard has been phenomenal all year. All 8 players have turned up week in, week out, and yeah, to finish 3rd, you know what I mean, it is amazing. And you know, the job's not done yet. A big night on Thursday night, and there's only 4 of us left. One of us is going to win it. Why can't it be me?
You said there, Nathan, and listen, we watch it every single week, and you speak about the standard this year. I mean, I've never known anything like it. I mean, some of the averages are scary. And even if you look at people at the bottom, the likes of, obviously, Stephen Bunting, he won a night, but still he's nowhere near it. Have you ever known a competition to be this, like the intensity and the quality to be this high?
No, never. Like I say, I think this is my 5th Premier League, maybe 4 or 5 Premier Leagues I played. And I've never known a standard like this, and I think yet again the PDC did it right by putting his 8 players in. Different standards, different personas on stage. I think the 8 of us have worked really well this year, and I just think it's been entertaining from day one. And like I say, Stephen Bunting, I think I finished bottom on the averages for the whole year, but I finished 3rd. I think Stephen finished 2nd or 3rd. So I think that just proves how hard it is to finish in that top 4. But yeah, it's been tough, and to come out on top would be unbelievable achievement.
I like the format as well. I like the fact that every single Thursday we get a winner.
Yeah, I think for the live audience, I think it's amazing. For the people that pay the money to come and watch us on a Thursday night, wherever it is we're playing, I get the frustration from people watching it on TV that, I think out of the 16 finals, probably 10 have been Luke v Luke. Do you know what I mean? I can understand why people get a bit frustrated.
Do that? I didn't know that. I've not heard that. People get frustrated.
There's a lot of people that want to change the format back to the old format, 1 game a night. Me personally, I like it. Like I say, the live audience pay the money to come and watch us, and if I'm their favourite player, and they might get the opportunity to watch me walk out 3 times, and I think it works. But yeah, I think Thursday night it's a bit longer format. I think it's best of 19 first game, best of 21 final. It's a different game yet again, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
I've always wondered this as well, because all of you guys have got unbelievable walkout songs, so like it really gets the crowd kind of going. But is there, and I don't know if yourself personally or other players in it, where you've almost got yourself a little bit too hyped up because the crowd are going crazy singing your songs, that when it comes to obviously starting the game you're a little bit off because the adrenaline's still pumping from the crowd?
I had that for probably the first 12 months when I changed to Mr. Brightside. It's so hard, like Chris Dobie, I can say it because we're good mates. He walks on, his song is rubbish. No one sings it, no one likes it. He just walks on, puts his hands up, and that's it. He's game mode. I stand there pointing like an idiot, and everyone's singing it back to me. Your heart is pumping, and I used to struggle. That's what's happened to Stephen Bunting. The first 3 or 4 weeks, he came out and admitted that he's really struggling with the nerves when he's walking on, and it is different. You're walking on that stage. You're not only there to play darts, you're also there to entertain. We're sportsmen, but we're also entertainers. And, I think me, Bunting, Littler, Humphreys, we have the best 4 walk-on songs. And, yeah, you just got to learn to deal with it. And I think Bunting dealt with it in the second half of the season, which is why he started winning. But, yeah, it is different. But, we're professional sportsmen, you've got to learn to deal with these things, haven't you?
Darts now is in such an unbelievable place. Wow. You and I were having a chat about the first prize next season for the World Championships, £1 million.
Yeah, be nice, wasn't it?
Can you... Listen, second place would be nice. But can you...
Start saying no to talkSPORT.
You'll never say no.
No, I'll never say no to talkSPORT.
How long have you been a pro for?
I turned pro in 2018.
OK, so not long ago, right? So that's, 7 years ago. Did you ever think in your wildest dreams that... I know you've got to get to the highest level to reap its rewards, but did you ever think that darts would be where it is today? I mean, it's watched by millions, it's loved by millions. The crowds you get every single week is just something that darts has never seen. It's always been popular, it's always been big, but not arenas selling out every Thursday.
No, I think, obviously, we all know why a big influx of dart fans have come because of Luke Littler, but, I always say in interviews, yes, Luke Littler's got the people watching it, but it's down to the other guys to keep them watching. Luke Littler don't play every single game of darts on TV. The likes of myself, Van Gerwen, Gezi Price, we've got to entertain as well to keep the viewers coming back. Because Luke don't win everything. He gets beat in the match play first round last year. Everyone still, watches the tournament. So I think it's credit to all the boys through the whole tour to put these amazing performances on. But yeah, I don't think there's a ceiling on how high darts can get now. We've got loads of young kids coming through. We've now got academies like they do in football and stuff. The academies, are unbelievable. I'm playing kids in exhibitions who are actually beating me at 10. And I'm actually trying.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. I played a kid, called Harvey, in, I think it was Haverfordwest in Wales. He was 7 years of age, and he 14 darted me on the stage in front of about 400 people. And that
How long has he been playing? I mean, it's not more than 7 years.
Since Luke Littler, about 18 months, you know what I mean? And it's amazing, so I need to win this world, win my millions and retire.
Wow.
Hopefully get a job at talkSPORT or something.
That is incredible, isn't it? Because you got into darts, you were a late teenager, right?
Yeah, I was, the first time I threw a dart was I was 16. Didn't know what I was all into football and golf.
I didn't know this, I'm not going to claim it, but you were on the books at Man United, right, as a goalkeeper?
Yeah, so as a goalkeeper, I was at the goalkeeping academy till I was about 14. I had trials at Stockport County, Glasgow Rangers, and I got released because I was too small because I was a goalkeeper. Bartez was a keeper at the time as well, couldn't really understand it, but...
What, at United?
Yeah, because he was small.
Yeah.
About 5'4", wasn't he? But yeah, obviously I got released and then I played semi-pro for Cheadle Town for a short while, and then that was it really. That kind of was, I wasn't going to make it a footballer, took up darts, and yeah, here we are.
Just tell us a bit about what Luke Littler has done for the sport, because some dart players, they weren't necessarily happy with the fact that he was getting all the column inches. But, you know, we've talked about you playing in sold-out arenas now, the prize money's gone through the roof. A lot of that is down to Luke, and of course you have to go there and make up the numbers and make it as interesting, as exciting for everyone. But, I mean, he is just, no one could have seen a young kid like that coming in. His first year, I think he was 16 on the Ocket Ali Pali, got beaten in the final against Humphreys, and then of course he won the world title last year. The rise in those 24 months has been just astronomical, isn't it?
I saw it coming.
I
knew when he was younger. I remember playing Luke, I think he was 10 or 11, and I'd just won the UK Open, and I beat him 4-3, but he should have beat me, and he was 10 in a tournament. I'm like, this kid is special, and then obviously I followed him. Don't live too far from me, you know, he's practiced with me. He is a freak. You know, it's like the Van Gogh when he first started, but better, in my opinion. But yeah, he's amazing, and you know, as long as he's doing well and keeps performing and keep wanting to play darts, there's no limit to where the sport can go. And you know, obviously we've got the best promoters in the world in any sport with the PDC in the match room. They're amazing. Barry's amazing. And you know, they're gonna just keep pushing it further and further, and you know, there is no limit to where we can go, in my opinion.
Do you think he can beat Phil Taylor's Hall?
No.
You don't?
No.
You think?
No. I just can't see him staying in the sport that long.
I totally agree. I think he'll be off in about 5 years.
Do you?
I don't think he'll. Obviously, he's 18, isn't he? He does a lot on YouTube and stuff like that. He's good mates with Angry Ginge, you know, that kind of thing. I can see him going down that path, in my opinion. He's already getting fed up of playing and travelling all the time, and he's only been doing it 12 months. You know what I mean? So I don't think he'll be around 16 years, let alone winning 16 world titles. But you know, if he does, fair play to him, but I can't see it.
Well, listen, we hope you continue in the sport. A real pleasure as always. Thanks, not just for now, but for partnering me in the golf today. It was good. We both did
21 bandit. Absolute bandit, he is.
I'll take that as an absolute compliment. Don't forget, of course, this Thursday you can hear live commentary of the Premier League of Darts, the playoffs from the O2. It's live right here on talkSPORT. The semi-finals are Luke Littler against Going Price, and of course Luke Humphreys against this man here, Nathan Aspinall. Nathan, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Good luck. Hopefully you'll be a Premier League champion like me at work. Didn't mention that, did you?
Oh yeah, do you want to mention how he got beat against me in the Premier League 4-0? No, he doesn't want to mention.
Did you tell him who's Premier League champion though?
No, I didn't bother with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't matter about that. You can go now, Nathan, all right? Don't overstay your welcome. We're going to have a quick break. The big names continue right after this live on Drive on talkSPORT. Listen to Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent at Motor Point. We're live from James Madison's Golf Day. New car with same-day drive away available on all cars. Book a test drive today. Still to come, we'll be looking ahead to Chelsea's Europa Conference final against Real Betis. A reminder, everyone, by the way, it's live on talkSPORT tomorrow. We'll build up to that, me and Benny, of course, when we're back in the studio. Just quickly, England bowler Gus Atkinson has been ruled out of the upcoming Windies ODI series with a hamstring injury, and England's goalkeeper Mary Earps has announced a shock retirement. That is a shock from international football. That's ahead of the Women's Euros this summer. Now, the big names continue. We'll be delighted to be joined on the show by TV presenter Chris Hughes. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
Good to see you. And one of my favourite players, Newcastle fullback Matt Targett. Hello, Matty.
Hello, mate. You're right.
How are you?
Yeah, not bad. You?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very well. They'll take the mick at you because I once suggested because you weren't fit for Newcastle, that was going to be a big loss.
Honestly.
And they took the mick out. And I was like,
no, well, that wasn't the case of it. It's because you've been out for ages. So it was almost like he'd just realised, oh, Matt's not there. I'm like, well, no, he's been injured for ages. That was the joke.
That wasn't the joke.
Yeah, that was
but
the joke.
It's good to see that you weren't injured for today. How did you both play? You played as well? Okay, how did you get on first, Matt?
Front nine, very good. And then back nine, my team carried me. So
what are you playing off?
11 at the moment.
Okay, yeah, I mean, these are good players. What are you playing off?
6. It was just tough today, wasn't it?
6?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Just wet. I don't know how JT's won it again off that, and it's
it's something we need to have a look at the scorecard.
We need to have a look at it.
Numbers written down and rubbed out, I imagine. It was very tough out there, right? Because we all like playing. Do you play abroad? Do you play a lot? I mean, if you're playing off 6 and you're like sort of low teens, what are you, 11?
11.
Okay, you're below that then. Okay, you must be playing a lot.
Yeah, I try and play as much as possible. Got a nice course up in Newcastle that I play a lot.
Close house.
Yeah, close house. So, yeah, when I can, I try and get out, and during the summer, I'll play as much as I can.
I'm guessing if you play in Newcastle quite a lot, it's usually like this. So you must be used to it, right? You must be used to it,
yeah, that's what it is. I brought it down with me today.
The mags, that's what they make excuses. That's what it is.
Yeah, the weather wasn't great today.
You two are good mates? You know each other well? Or?
Well, we like to keep our distance, don't we? Yeah, but being a Sunderland fan and obviously seeing these boys, I saw a load of them out in Dubai when you were celebrating. We were talking about it earlier. When they won the League Cup, they were all out there and I happened to bump into them. I felt like I was...
He joined in the celebrations.
I didn't join No, I didn't. I felt obliged to take alcohol because it was free. But no, it was... No, they were all right. They were all right.
Is that
we kept
your team,
them
Sunderland?
Yeah.
So you must be delighted about the weekend.
Oh my
then.
God, that's why I'm on here, just to rub a bit of salt in there.
You both had good ends, right? To the season.
Yeah.
Yours was pretty lucky, right?
Got lucky in the end, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a shambles. That. I was thinking like the perfect weekend for Sunderland would have been Everton winning, Pickford celebrating, and then seeing any results go. That Villa one was a shambles, wasn't it? Absolute shambles.
Do you know what's quite interesting?
I thought he was spot on, the ref.
Who was in here that we were talking to that game about? My brain's gone. And who was it?
Gareth Barry?
It was Gareth Barry, right? And I said that I was surprised that Man United played as well. And he was like, well, you know, it's because they lost. And I was like, yeah, how's that work? And he explained it correctly, that had they won the Europa League, they'd have been out celebrating, and we saw what happened to Spurs against Brighton. So you must have been looking at that result thinking, you know, Aston Villa against a Man United side now, and they're going to be not fresh, but raring to go and prove a point.
Yeah, you always look like, especially with the result, it was so big for them. Going into the last game of the season, they would want to finish on a high in front of their fans. So we knew it would be a tougher game in terms of that respect. Yeah, we knew it wasn't going to be easy, but. Yeah, the performance on our side wasn't that great, so yeah, we got lucky in the end with the result.
What conversations are going on the pitch and on the sidelines while the game's happening? How are you guys made aware of what's happening?
To be fair, I was in the stands. I was a nervous wreck. I kept looking at the results and that. I was like, oh no. But like, I think the manager said like he didn't know about any of the results. He just wanted to win.
I don't believe that. Honestly. When they said
it's hard to believe.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what he says. But yeah, I'm sure someone would have told him. So yeah, it was disappointed we couldn't end on a win, but the main result was we got Champions League.
Yeah, I love how diplomatic he is. In there, he said, "God, we were poor, weren't we?"
Yeah, you can't say that because we're live. You know, people can hear him. You know that, right? You can't. What goes on in there stays in there.
No, I just out him, wouldn't I?
Let's talk about your manager, right? Because we all love Eddie Howe. I think he's a fantastic manager. When England were looking for a new manager, I was stunned that A, he didn't get the gig, or B, wasn't even interviewed, which I find very bizarre. Just from your perspective, how great is he as a man, not just a manager, but a man to come in, and that's someone you look up to?
No, honestly, he's incredible. The amount of detail that he goes into, he doesn't like palm off training to any of the other coaches. He wants to do it all by himself. So yeah, he's got a good team with him, but honestly he wants to improve every player that he works with. I can't speak like any highly of him. He's an incredible manager to work for, and the achievements that he's had at Newcastle is incredible.
And sorry, Ben, I was going to say, how important is it that you got Champions League football, because you've got players like Isak that had you not got it, he would have been linked instantly to other clubs that have got it. How important is that to keep the likes of him?
Oh, it's massive. I was saying to one of the players that I played with today, is like our starting 11 on paper is up there with one of the best starting 11s in the Premier League. So when we get our full team fit, it's a massive result for us, like to get everyone fit. So when we have everyone fit, it's perfect for us. So we know we're such a good team. We've got an incredible fan base that follow us everywhere, and the home support that we have during our home games is incredible.
You've been at Villa, obviously. You've Watkins. You've been with obviously Isak at Newcastle. What separates these boys from the rest? Because we know Watkins is doing incredible things with Aston Villa, but a lot of people, when you look at Isak, just feel like he's got that little thing a little bit special. That's no disrespect to Watkins. You've seen them both close. How, not even so much how would you rank, 'cause that's not fair, but what separates them boys from like the rest?
For me, like working with Ollie, he works so hard. Like honestly, on the pitch, off the pitch, that he works so hard and like getting himself right. And then Isak, for me, it looks like more of a like natural talent. Like he just has it, you know. He's a special player. Honestly, he's an incredible player, and we're very lucky to have him.
Matt, we're lucky to have you. Thanks so much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
A real pleasure. Just quickly, Chris, how long have you been a Sunderland fan for? Do you ever see Darren?
Oh yeah.
You saw him play?
Many a time.
What was he like?
First game I went to when I was 6, so it was 1999, Stadium of Light. My uncle's a Sunderland fan, my older brother, who's 10, 12 years older than me, is a Sunderland fan. But yeah, he was laboured in the warm-up. I remember watching him. I think it was.
Laboured in the warm-up? He's like that at our show as well, by the way.
But you don't know, what a player. Like, having players, like, you know, one of the best strikers we've seen at Stadium of Light, and I'm not here. No, he's true, though. He's... yeah, huge talent. Sunderland have had some good players over the years, and good strikers and good goalkeepers and stuff. But hopefully next season we can strengthen, because we're going to need to.
Big season.
Yeah. I actually think we're going to have to. It could be the Derby day, which is a bit of momentum for us to nick some points. Because I kind of, forget the money spent and everything goes out the window. We got to come through strong, and fingers crossed.
Well, listen, Chris Hughes and Matty Targett, thanks so much for coming on. Where, are you going back in there now?
Yeah, I'm going
have
back in.
Have we managed to pull you up while the bidding's going on?
He's bid for.
I have gone for.
What'd you get?
R9 shirt. I want to get an R9 shirt, so I'm going for that.
Okay. If you don't get it, let us know. I can get you a D Bent shirt for half the price. I know people. Boys, always a pleasure. Thanks so much. We're going to have a quick break. Last hour of our show coming up in just a moment, live on Drive on talkSPORT. Darren Bent is here, and that was producer Joe. If you're watching on YouTube, trying to fix the computer. We're live from James Madison's Golf Day. Still to come, we'll be talking about Man United's post-season tour to Malaysia and whether or not clubs should be allowed to go on tours after the season. But first, though, we can look ahead to tomorrow night's Conference League final with our friends at Green King.
Total Sporting Mayhem on talkSPORT with Green King. Join us for Sport Mayhem for 16 days, 8 sports and 1 great destination. A Green King Sport Pub. 18 plus, drink aware.
Since day one, I said the target that the club gives to me was in 2 years we want to play Champions League.
It's finished Forest 0, Chelsea 1. It's Champions League football once again for Chelsea.
All these people saying, oh, it's only this, it's only that. It's hard to win a trophy, so you can't turn your nose up at the Conference League.
Lovely little turn. Kukurea in there!
Put it low cross, tucked in, Madwakey. Chelsea do have 3.
We knew like this competition is not that easy. Most of the people think it is, but it's definitely not.
I think it's something important for the club in this moment, for the for the fans, for everyone, because it means that we are going in the right direction.
Anthony into the penalty area to slip it into the far corner. Brilliant finish.
Anthony's emancipation has been amazing, and he has been the player that Betis needed. This side of Anthony, we haven't seen at all before.
Isco's in space. Goalkeeper's drawn. Goalkeeper's beaten, and Isco scores.
For Betis, this was a huge moment. This means so much.
Yes, Chelsea have sealed their place. Yes, Chelsea have sealed their place in the Champions League, but their season doesn't end there. They face Real Betis in the final of the Conference League. That's tomorrow night. Chelsea have breezed through the tournament so far, but will face a tougher test against Real Betis. They finished 6th in La Liga this season. And, of course, they have on loan from Manchester United, Anthony, who has been on fire since his move to Spain. It all kicks off at 8 p.m. tomorrow night, live right here on talkSPORT. Let's hear from the Chelsea manager, Enzo Maresca, who's been speaking to the media ahead of the game. He discussed the importance of winning a European trophy with Chelsea.
The main target is for sure. It's also for personally it's important, but the main target is to win again a European competition with Chelsea. I think it's something important for the club in this moment, for the for the fans, for everyone, because it means that we are going in the right direction. And personally, I will try to prepare the game exactly in the same way I prepare all the rest, because I consider every game important. For sure, it's a final that at the end, decide the title. But we're gonna try to prepare the game in our best, and hopefully we can win the title.
There's a lot of pressure on Chelsea to win this game, even before the competition started. So Chelsea will win this. They're in the final. We understand how clubs don't necessarily take it serious until we get to maybe the quarters or probably the semi-final. But they're in the final now. Does it feel? Do you think, if you're a Chelsea fan or player, does it feel just as big as any other final you've been? Let's just say, not the Champions League, obviously, but if you were in the League Cup final, would that feel similar?
I think it just feels like a big final for Chelsea, regardless what competition they're in. Of course, we've seen that football club win far bigger. But I just feel like, certainly for Enzo Maresca, it's huge. I think for himself personally, like, you might get someone like a Reece James who'll still pay it respect because they are in a final, and once you're there, you want to win it. But of course, he's one of the biggest of the biggest. He was there when they won the last Champions League. But I do think now, I won't say the pressure's off, but I do think they can go, because I think for me the biggest job for Chelsea Football Club was getting back in the Champions League. I think the owners would have probably said to the manager, like, yes, we're in the Conference League, if you can win it, great, but our big priority is about getting into the Champions League. We're not looking to win the Conference League to get into Europa. This football club, and rightly so, should be in the Champions League. So I think once they secured that against Forest, like, I think that Forest game would have been a harder game than this Betis game coming up. Because obviously Forest going for Champions League as well. So I think that game, mentally, they had to be so switched on at the City ground as well. It's almost like I think this final, yes, you've got to pay Betis respect. You've got to go out there with the right attitude, right mentality. But you can almost treat it like a. I'm trying to think. It's almost like
not a testimonial.
Not a testimonial, but go and enjoy yourself. It's not that we've missed out on Champions League. Now we need a trophy. We have to win it. No,
but the flip side, they've won every single trophy apart from this one, right? Yeah. So there is a part of Chelsea. Maybe it's fans more that would feel that way, that they need to complete the book.
My dad, who obviously is a big Chelsea fan. He had he didn't really care about this competition one bit. But now they're there. Now he's like, I want to win it. Like, we want to be the first team to complete the set. And I think Chelsea will win it. I mean, the squad that he's assembled there, Enzo Maresca, I mean, he has pretty much got 2 players for every position, bar probably the centre forward with Nkunku, who's not really worked out. They have got 2 players for each position. And you look at in attacking areas, I mean, Cole Palmer, Sancho, Madueke, Neto, George, the young kid. They've got so many options. That midfield 3, if Lavia comes off the bench, Caicedo, Enzo, they have got a really good squad there. So I think, honestly, it would be, I won't say one of the biggest shocks, but it would shock me massively if Betis was to beat them.
We were talking to James Madison at the top of the show. By the way, if you missed any of that, go to the website or you can download the app for free and listen again. But we were talking to him about how important it was not just to progress into other competitions like the Champions League, but win a competition, right? We had Matty Targett speaking about how important it is for Newcastle to have Champions League football to keep the likes of Alexander Isak. With regards to a competition like this, how important is it for the younger players like Cole Palmer to get their hands on silverware so early on in their Chelsea career?
Yeah, it's huge. Absolutely massive. And again, this is no disrespect, but just say there was a lot of talk about Cole Palmer leaving, and like a little bit like the Isak, if they don't finish in the Champions League, he might go. If Chelsea weren't to win it, or they do win it, that's not something in my head would go, well, they've won the Conference League now, so Cole Palmer's definitely going to stay. I don't think the trophy's on that level.
No, but I remember Jose talking about when he was at Chelsea, how important it was to win the League Cup, and all of a sudden you have that mentality of being a winner, right?
Yeah, but I think it's bigger for someone like Maresca, because he's been at Leicester. Yes, he got them promoted, but he should have. He had the best team in the division, I thought. But I think for himself personally, that would be huge if he could get over the line and win his trophy in his first proper season at Chelsea, where a lot of people have asked questions of him, said he's not good enough. Even some of the press conferences that he gives when he spoke about that tactically, not his goalkeeper not going long, I'd sub him, or these type of things. All of a sudden now, if he secures Champions League football, and then for himself personally, because I think the trophy is bigger for Maresca than it is for Chelsea.
For the CV, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like Chelsea as a football club won't change by not winning. Do you know what I mean? They don't need it. And that's not being disrespectful, that's just what they are. I just think for Maresca, it would cap off an unbelievable season, because he would have got him in the Champions League, which I think would have been the brief, and he's also bought him some silverware as well.
Chelsea have always, I say always, for the last maybe 20 years, certainly under Abramovich, they've been a bit of a basket case of a club, right? Because they won everything, but they sat managers literally every 18 months, right? And it worked. It was a winning formula, right? It was a winning blueprint. Do you think that this manager will be given more time? Because irrelevant of what happens tomorrow night, they have Champions League football next season. So what's the expectation levels now for that manager?
I still think, I think there's a little bit of both, I think, because I think you're right. Under Abramovich, the model was like you either win or you're gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, even in some respects, second's not good enough.
Well, Ancelotti won a double, right? Following year gone.
Exactly. I do think there is a real... Because you think about the managers Chelsea have, so you're talking about Conte, Ancelotti, Jose... who else have they?
Are you going back?
Yeah, I'm going back. Right, great managers. I just don't think there's that many of them, that type of manager about anymore.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
I think, say Ancelotti had been out of job for a year, they might go, do you know what, Enzo, no, Ancelotti comes in, because there's no clear...
Scolari was another one.
Yeah, there's no clear, like, what I'd regard as like elite managers that you might go, do you know what, stick with what we've got.
Yeah.
But fair play to him. I just think now... I think the brief next season will be to be right back in that Champions League, but I think they're going to try and win something for sure. I think they're going to have to, whether it be an FA Cup, League Cup, they've just got to keep stacking the trophy cabinet. But I think minimum requirement for Chelsea always has to be in the Champions League. That's where they have to be.
I agree with you. How will it go? The game is live, of course, on talkSPORT tomorrow. We'll be building up to it when we're back in the studio tomorrow.
2-0 Chelsea.
You don't think? See, I think it's written in the source that Anthony does something.
Yeah, why? Against Chelsea? If it was Man United, yeah.
No, because he's just. I mean, he's been absolutely smashing it over there in Spain, right?
Yeah.
He's playing without care in the world.
Yeah.
He looks good. And football's always got a strange way of throwing stories up,
Yeah,
right?
no, I think if he was playing against, like, Man United or something, then I'd go, definitely. But I think the likes of Chelsea, I just think they're too strong. All over the pitch, I just look at them, just defensively rock solid. The three in the middle of the park, whichever three he goes with, whether it be Enzo, Lavia and Caicedo, I mean, that takes some beating, that, because they're also rock solid. You can put Cole Palmer in there. Reece James is back, he looks fit. Do you know what I mean? They've got goals all over the pitch, so I think 2-0 Chelsea.
Okay. Let me tell you, we'll carry on our Chelsea chat in just a moment, because we'll be joined by John Terry. Will be joining me and Benty in just a moment, live on Drive, so do not go anywhere. That was our preview of tomorrow night's Conference League final with Green King. Sign up to the Green King Hub now and celebrate the end of season with free drinks, giveaways and more. Green King, Bellhaven, Flaming Grill and Hungry Horse Sports Pubs. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. Always drink responsibly.
Total sporting mayhem on talkSPORT with Green King. Sign up to our sports hub for great offers. Find out more at greenking.co.uk/mayhem. 18 plus drink aware.
It's up to you, mate. It's totally up to you.
You listen to Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein. Darren Bent is alongside. We're live at the James Madison Golf Day. We've had some exceptional names alongside us. None more so than who we're joined by now. It gives me great pleasure to say welcome to talkSPORT and Drive Time to John Terry. How are you, John?
Thank you, guys. Very good. Good to see you both.
Do I call you JT or John Terry?
No, he doesn't.
JT.
No,
JT. No, I like
let him.
JT. I like that. I'm in the group now.
You're in the golf chat. We're good.
How are you?
Really well. Really good.
We'll talk football in a bit, right? Let's talk golf.
Yeah.
A lot of Spurs fans in there not happy with the numbers you're putting through. So you went round in 4 under today.
I've had a very good day today. So I was 4 under today. I've won the trophy, and I've got up to a bit of heckling and a few boos. But it's been a week, and I've won the same amount of trophies as Spurs.
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
Please tell me you said that in that room.
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, of course I did.
I think it's won more than Arsenal this season, isn't it?
Here we go. We're not talking about Arsenal.
But you enjoyed it. It's tough, right? Really tough conditions.
Yeah, first time I played here, but tough. When it rains, that's not for me. Like, I wouldn't normally play in the rain, but because we're here for Mads and the golf day, everyone stayed out, which is great. But yeah, tough conditions today.
You're playing like 3 or 4 times a week?
I love it, yeah.
It's proper, isn't it?
It's the one thing, Ben, I'm surprised you've not got in. It's the one thing since playing that gives me a buzz that's close to football.
Really?
Yeah. It doesn't get there, but it's the closest thing.
In what respect? The camaraderie with your mates on the golf course?
The camaraderie
or the
for 4 or 5 hours, the feeling of shooting well or playing well, that feeling of, I practice quite a lot as well, and that kind of work ethic and seeing the results come through is nice.
Okay, you play, what was it you said, 4 or 5?
5, I'm off, yeah.
So I get that from paddle.
He plays paddles
every day.
What a game.
Every day.
What a game.
Oh, don't get me started on that now,
every
you
day I
two.
play.
You play that as well?
Oh, mate, I love paddle.
Oh, all right.
Oh, now this is what I pay money to see. But you've got to play doubles, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's a doubles game, isn't it, paddle?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just think it's a bit pointless. Like, you two couldn't play each other. You got to have someone
still
else.
could play. If you find someone decent.
We could go cross court.
I
If you
know,
played
but-
singles,
Yeah,
cross court.
cross
So you
court,
could, but it's not the same. So paddles is definitely paddle.
Who would win, Bentley?
What? Are you good?
I would beat you.
No, I'll beat JT.
Can we arrange that?
I tell you what, you bring a partner and I beat you both. Me versus you two.
Oh my, really?
There you go.
All right, you've heard it.
Sorry, don't you know the geezer that's number 2 in UK?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
we'll put some money on it as well.
Please tell me you're better than Gabs.
Yeah.
I've seen Gabs.
Jesus, I've done it again.
Oh,
Pulled the whole thing off.
Oh.
Gabs looks woeful. I've seen Gabs play.
He's getting better though.
Is he?
Yeah, I promise you, he's getting better.
Can I just say, have we got sound? Because I've lost sound. Have we got it? We're okay?
Are we all good, yeah?
Okay, we're okay. Just stay where you are. Don't move.
No, we get a game. Be good too.
100%.
That'd be good. Can we come down and film it?
Absolutely.
Why don't you play? Because you're
Oh, no,
play.
I've splintered my pancreas.
See,
No good.
you're right.
Let's talk football, shall we? Because we've got you for another 3 hours. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
okay,
great.
fine. We were just talking actually before you came in about your old side, Chelsea. They're in the conference final tomorrow. And one of the questions I asked Betty was how the players, not the fans, the players would view this. Certainly on the back of a tough season, but one that has come, of course, with qualification for the Champions League. How do you think, if you were in that dressing room waiting to go out tomorrow night, how would you view this competition?
Not one you want to be in from the outset for me, but when you're in it, like always, you go in it to win it, and I think they've given themselves a really good chance to go and do that. I think securing Champions League football next year via the league is great, but when you're in these big finals, you want to go and perform on the big stage and stuff, and Betis are a good side, by the way. It's not going to be an easy game, so it's going to be a tough game, but I think we're good enough to do it. We're probably young and experienced is our one thing, which is a plus for the football club as well, if that makes sense. But in these big games, that can also go against you a little bit. So that's the only thing that kind of goes against us, if I'm honest. But I think they've rose to the challenge. I think the weekend they did as well, which was a big game in front of the Forest fans. And they performed, the boys performed on a big occasion. So I think they can do it again.
Who do you think this season for Chelsea is really impressed you? Of course, the obvious answer would be Cole Palmer, although I don't think he's been as good this season as he was last.
Yeah.
But for you, JT, has been the most important player this year?
Caicedo's been excellent this year for me. I think in the first season, first few months, wasn't the player that we see at Brighton. But I think naturally over time, when you arrive at another big club, sometimes you're probably too keen to impress and didn't go well, picked up a couple of little niggles, but I've seen him this year and he's been absolutely superb. You know, just in front of the back four as well, because we're quite young and he's a little bit more experienced as well, but breaking up the play, feeding the forward players when Cole was on fire and stuff early on. Enzo's a big player as well. So for me, he's a big game player. When I watch him, and also Cucurella as well, who's been a big threat in terms of goals, but every time I see him, as a Chelsea fan now, which I am, I go to the game and go, I'd take 11 of you week in, week out. His attitude and the way he defends is first class.
What have you made of the manager, not just him as a person, but the style in which Chelsea play? When you were there, they were quite aggressive, quite attacking. It's a little bit different now, to say the least. He has come under a bit of criticism from some die-hard Chelsea fans. What have you made of him and his style of play?
I think the balance of results, for me, I think at times we've probably overplayed when the pressure's on a little bit. I think when we look to our area, when we played, you know, sometimes we'd have the option to go long into Didier and it's not a long ball. It's a good ball from Peter Cech or to Ivanovic. You had the diagonal, but you could kind of break lines and stuff. And now I think we invite press a little bit too often, and I think other teams do it. It's not just Chelsea that are doing it. Man City have got a lot to answer for, I think, because I think Man City are the best at it, and everyone tries to do it, but they can't. So if you can't do it, I would always go, can we beat the press, play a little bit higher up? And I think the fans have been frustrated with that over time, and I get sometimes you've got to do that to suck teams in and then kind of get beyond them, but we've not done that as well this year. So naturally the fans get frustrated, but we've managed to secure fourth and we're there. So good experience from the boys this year. Champions League football for them, and making signings of attracting players is big for us next year.
How far do you think they are away from challenging for the Premier League? I know getting the Champions League is massive. If they win this trophy, that will help them as well in terms of that winning feeling. But how far do you think they are away from really competing and challenging for the Premier League?
I think we're a couple of years off, if I'm honest. I really do. Now, I don't want that to be headline stuff, but when I look at Man City, Liverpool, I think they're stronger than us at the moment. Arsenal have been really consistent as well, and I'm sure they're going to go out and buy players as well. So this is why securing Champions League football next year is big for us, because getting those extra players in that have maybe got a bit of experience, or a bit more backup and a bit more strength and depth within the squad. So if Cole does drop off slightly, you can have somebody else that takes a responsibility away from him, because a lot of weight's been thrown on his shoulders this year as well. So I think if we can bring 3 or 4 big players in, which Champions League football does that because everyone wants to play that as well, I think we'll be better for it.
One of the positions I think you need strengthening is, of course, number 9 down the middle. Liam Delap has been linked to your club, in fact a whole host of clubs. Is that the type of player you think Chelsea should be looking at, a young player? Because he's not the finished article. And we've had this conversation before. We're both big fans, but we wonder whether a big club like a Chelsea is maybe too much of a big stepping stone
got to be like
right
an in-between,
now. Are you a fan of his?
Firstly, I think Nico's been really good. Now, when I watch him play, he's probably one of a handful of strikers in the league that I think wants to play on your shoulder. Now, playing against that as a defender, that's a nightmare, because it kind of stretches you that way and opens up that space in the midfield. So one, I like Nico. He's probably not been as clinical as we would probably like as Chelsea fans, but I think if you're looking to go to that next step, you need to bring in someone who's proven, who's done it, who's scored goals in the Premier League, and that tends to kind of be an experienced player. I think the owners are quite clear they're not going to go down that route. They don't want to bring someone of 29, 30 years of age in on big money. It's going to be a different model and a different mindset. So I don't think we'll go down that route. I personally feel we do need that, yeah.
I've got to get your view on all things England. Firstly, what did you make of the news when you heard Thomas Tuchel got the job?
Very good manager. Obviously had him at Chelsea and seen him work, and both on the pitch, off the pitch. I think he could be the difference, I really do. I love Gareth. I love the changes that he made and everyone together within the England squad, because I'm sure Darren spoke about, back when we played probably wasn't as tight-knit, and I think the players have that now as well. And I think clearly we have the players within the squad that are good enough to go and win these trophies and compete in big finals, and I think Thomas is going to be that difference and give us something. I think he gives us a little bit of an edge.
What do you make? There are some players he's picked that are... I'll mention the names. Jordan Henderson's one that a lot of people are surprised about. I'll mention Ivan Toney as well, because we're not seeing too much of him play. I sort of get the feeling that he's picking an England side, I know they sound nuts, just to win the World Cup, right? But he's not looking long-term at maybe young, like Adam Wharton at Palace, right? He's not looking long-term at these players. Is that a problem, do you think, or is he doing things the right way?
Not for me at all. If I'm a manager, I don't look at 8-10 years time. Yeah. I look at the here and now for me, and I love the fact that Jordan's in. I'm a big fan of his. I think the experience that he gives, everything we've just spoken about Chelsea and other teams in the Premier League, we need that experience and we need that. Jordan gives us that. He's been there, he's done it, he's seen it. He's a leader both on the pitch and off the pitch, and sometimes he can just steady the ship a little bit as well. He'd be good for the manager because it'd be a good sounding board for him. So I think it's a great plan to have him in, and no, I don't think he should be looking any further than 2 years' time. Look at the next tournament and go from there.
When you look at the two centre-halves, JT, who would be your first choice pairing?
Good question, throw me right on the spot there. Mark Guehi has been excellent, I think. Yeah. I do love Tomori as well. I love Fick. Don't know, you throw me right on the spot there. I've just gone for my Chelsea boys. I've gone Chelsea boys,
Very Chelsea heavy, that.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, you've got Stones, you've got obviously Maguire, Guehi. I'm with you. I think he's probably the best of the bunch as well. Konza at Aston Villa.
Yeah, obviously Adez and stuff, and again you go experience Stonesy and stuff like that. So I think they all have a part to play at some point. You know, I love the fact that Gehi and Fikar are really quick and stuff. You can maybe play a high line, and you know, different teams against different against other teams is completely fine as well for me.
Just a quick word about you. I know you're loving life at the moment. You're playing a lot of golf. We've seen a good mate of yours, Frank Lampard, nearly, you know, do the unthinkable at Coventry, because when he took over, it was all about survival, and he got him into the playoffs and nearly got him, of course, into the Premier League. It wasn't to be this season. It might be for next season. But I know you've been involved in football for a long, long time. You ever fancied being number one in the dugout, the manager?
Yeah, I did,
What's happening with that?
When I left Villa, and I had to leave for a personal and family reason, but I come back down, spent some time with my family, and then I applied for a couple of jobs, and we're not talking Premier League or even Championship, it was lower than that. Well, actually, Sunderland was one of them.
Oh, wow.
Had a really good meeting. You know, I'd sat in a couple of meetings with a few teams and owners, and sat with the Sunderland guys, and you know, I'm sitting in it going, this is going really well. It's the best one I've kind of interviewed for. And we kind of had a little bit of a disagreement on overplaying and stuff, and why they sacked their manager. They was the worst side in Europe about giving away opportunities. It was a couple of years ago, and kind of come back going, you don't have experience. And that was the feedback I got from 3 big interviews for me, and I kind of come away from that going, I've captained Chelsea for 22 years, I've captained my country, I've worked with some top managers, like I've got something to give. I'm not trying to be a Premier League manager overnight. I've done my kind of groundwork with Dean Smith at Aston Villa. I've done all my badges, I've got everything, I'm ready to go. And to kind of hear that was a little bit disheartened, to be honest. So I'm not looking to get back in at all. I'm working in the academy with Chelsea 2 days a week, part-time. I work with the kids, which I love. I'm working with mainly the 16s, 18s and 21s. I'm doing some clips after games with them, doing some mentoring with them, which I love. It's 5 minutes around the corner for me. Chelsea's my club and always will be. And you know what? I'm just enjoying life and playing loads of golf and paddle at the minute.
Have you got a hole in one yet?
I have actually, yeah.
Okay, talk me through it. When was that?
The Wisley, it was...
Face up. We've been talking football all the time. Now it's hole in one. Tell me.
It was 6 months ago, so... Yeah, long time coming though for me. And everyone said to me, once you get your first one, then you'll get 3 or 4 on the bounce, and I'm still waiting for the next one. So
how greedy is that? If you get another one, can you lend it to me? No, not yet. No. How many Premier Leagues do you win?
5.
Would you give up one of those?
No. I got asked this today. It's the second time.
I haven't finished the question.
Okay,
for the Masters title.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. JT, what an honour. Listen, I know when you're sitting in that room and people are coming up to you, driving you mad, saying you don't have to, and it's easier to turn us down. Everyone at talkSPORT and Drive really appreciates your time. It's really kind
of you, mate. Appreciate it. We always come for the main
paddle.
Cheers. Thank you.
We've got to get that game on.
Paddle, we'll do it, definitely. We'll get a game of golf.
Oh, you're breaking up, what? We're going to have a quick break. More for me and Benty right after this live and Drive on talkSPORT. This is Drive on talkSPORT with me, Andy Goldstein, the bully Darren Bent. We're live from James Madison's Golf Day. I tell you what, Benty, it's been a day full of star-studded guests, including, we just spoke to five-time Premier League winner, former England captain John Terry. Been amazing.
I said he was captain for 22 years.
What?
He said he was captain for 22
years. That's insane, isn't it?
It can't be that long, no.
Doing anything for 22 years is... if you missed any of that, we had James Madison as well. I mean, the list, we've been very lucky. The list of names is endless. You can head to the talkSPORT YouTube channel and watch all of that wonderful chat. In fact, it started, as I mentioned, with today's main man, Tottenham midfielder and Europa League winner James Madison joined us at the start of the show. And Matt has told us about the Europa League celebrations. And he also hit back at our very own Simon Jordan as their war of words continued. Let's have a listen. Firstly, congratulations on winning the Europa League.
Thank you.
How on earth does that feel to be a Europa League winner?
Oh, it feels amazing, you know. We've heard it so many times from you lot in the media for ages about Spurs not winning trophies, and it's always been a black mark against the club's name for as long as I can remember. And yeah, we put that to bed because we lifted a European trophy, and especially to see Sonny lift it in Bilbao was just a special moment, and yeah, no one can ever take that away from us now.
I mean, listen, it was incredible. I won't say it's the best game I've watched, but you managed to get it over the line. And as you said there, Son, who's been so consistent for so long since he got there, to watch him do that finally at the end of it, because he's had a tough time. He's not been at his usual 10 out of 10 standards, but for him to lift it, that must have been nice to see.
Yeah, because he deserved that for the last 10 years of being a Premier League great, where they just haven't managed to get over the line. And I've been at Spurs for 2 years, and you get very quickly labelled as a Spursy type player because people want to drag you down with that title. And Sonny's had it for 10 years because he's never won anything. Harry had it. You know, you all have it if you play for Spurs, but I watched him lift that trophy in Bilbao on behalf of all of us. So, so happy for him as a person, so happy for everyone at the club, all our supporters, and yeah, we had a good celebration after as well.
So I've got a really question for you, because it has been a really strange season for both of you, because he's a Man United fan, obviously you Spurs. How did it feel for you? I know you're delighted to have won that Europa League, and fair play to you, you've already deserved it. But when you look at what happened in the league, Is it almost a case of you've just put that to bed?
It's not put it to bed and forget it, because we know we have to be better than that. But I think it was quite clear from the new year onwards as well, kind of what the manager was prioritising a little bit. It was clear for us to see, clear for everyone else to see. Just from team selection, every game, listen, the manager's a winner, he wants to win. Even after we lost to Brighton at the weekend, he was still fuming. Like, he was angry, even though we'd just won the Europa. Like, because once you're on the touchline and his team's out there representing, losing, it hurts him, because he's been a winner everywhere. And I'm glad that he's still like that, because it installs it into us, and that's why. Listen, at the start of the season, I know it was a big thing, but he said, I don't usually win, I always win in my second year, which is a big thing to say, and we all thought it, didn't we? But then he managed to go and do it again. We did it again. And so I've got every trust in him and every belief, whatever, in what he's saying, because he can get over the line with trophies. So, yeah, the Premier League season was pretty unacceptable, finishing where we did, but I think if you look at the context around it, it probably wasn't a true reflection if we just tackled it normally.
I'll take that season.
Yes, of course, yeah, trophy, and of course Champions League football next season is incredible. It's interesting, when you started that little chat with us, you said you lot, the media, some more so than others.
I don't want to get into a pillow fight with Simon Jordan, but listen, even with the Roy Keane thing and the Simon Jordan, it's all a little bit tongue-in-cheek, you know what I mean? Over the course of the season as a player, you have to accept people in the media giving you criticism, and that's part and parcel. But when you win the trophy as a club, if you're not entitled to have a little dig back, then what's the point? People always want personality in players, and then they moan that there's not enough players with personality, and showing it off to the media. They're all robots with the same generic answers, and then the minute we have a bit of personality, we kind of get shot down for that as well. So, no, I'll never change. Simon replied the starting lineup, didn't he? The screenshot of the starting 11 saying I didn't play. But to be fair, that just tells me that Simon Jordan doesn't really quite understand what it takes to be a successful team, because it's not just about the 11 players who play. It's not even about just the players in general. It's about the team behind the team that's just as important, you know? And I'm not even just talking about footballers in the back, I'm talking about the player liaisons who look after all of us and all our families, the physios, the canteen ladies, the gaffer, the coaches. We all win together. From the start of the season till the end, it's tough, man. The Europa League run is tough. It's a long season, especially with the new format with the extra games. And it takes everything. It takes all the squad, all players used, all staff involved to get us, the players, in the right place to be able to go and win. And we did that, and we're so happy. So we win as a collective. So everyone involved wins. The Tottenham fans win. We all win. So if Simon wants to try to take that away from me, then be my guest. But, you know, maybe just eat a bit of humble pie, put your hands up and say, OK, maybe James Maddison did win this season.
Yeah. How do you view the season? Because Andrew's interviewed afterwards, and I think the interview said, how do you see your season? He said, I thought it was a great season, right? I can't remember what Bent's view on it is, but maybe mine's different to his, because I'm a Man United fan and we're right at the bottom.
No, yours was awful.
And well, my view was, if you win the Europa League and get Champions League football, you've won a European trophy, and we've got Champions League football next season. It's a good season. It's a really good season. Because your Tottenham's league form wasn't up to scratch, because Spurs are a massive club and it should have been so much better, how do you view your season as a whole?
Amazing. Historic.
Yeah.
Well, when you ask me in 20 years, Goldstein, when you're still coming to my golf day in 20 years, I'll remember this season forever. So, you know what I mean? It's okay, we had a bad league form, but what's it all? What is football all about, though? It's about that's why it's been held against the club's name for so long, because it's about trophies. If you offered me 5th now and just take away the Europa League, I'd laugh, wouldn't I? I'd laugh at you. So it's all about silverware, and especially with this club, I'm so grateful and so happy that I was managed to be a part of the team who managed to break that curse, because Tottenham fans have suffered, man, you know.
And remember to watch the whole of that interview with the Spurs midfielder James Maddison. You can head to the talkSPORT YouTube channel. I mean, literally, it's like doing a show with a child, isn't it?
No, I won't read that.
No, I can't read it out because it's a naughty word, Darren. But thanks for the compliment. If you want to donate to all the great causes they are raising money for today, Madison's Golf Invitational, head to Madison Invitational, the Instagram page, and you'll find the GoFundMe link there. We're going to have a quick break. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen when we come back? I mean, all the big names. Is that David Beckham? Is it David Beckham? When we come back, like he's not coming. Live on Drive on talkSPORT after this. talkSPORT, it's me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, alongside Motorpoint as well. We're live from James Madison's Golf Day. New car with same-day driveway available on all cars. Book a test drive today. You ready for my favourite joke?
Got it.
Following us at 7, Hugh will be hosting...
Who, me?
Huh?
Me?
No, not you. Hugh Wisencroft.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hugh will be hosting Kickoff.
No, I'm here with you now.
Oh, no, Hugh Wisencroft.
Oh, yeah, right.
Kickoff twice we did that. He'll be joined by former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant. Former England Rugby Union star Dan Cole will retire at the end of the season, having made 118 appearances for England, the second most in our history. And the British and Irish Lions board is considering a proposal for a sudden death extra time if the third and final test is the decider, which ends in a draw. The Lions, they play Australia this summer, live on talkSPORT. And now, former Spurs striker Mido joined the breakfast show this morning, and he called for Ange Postecoglou to keep his job after their Europa League success and believes he should be back in the summer transfer window.
I think they might have thought that it's time for Ange to leave. But now, after winning a massive trophy, European trophy with the football club, I think they will be thinking 100 times before they make a decision about him. And I really think he deserves to stay. He's a very good coach. He's got his own identity, his own philosophy of playing. But he definitely deserves to stay at the football club. He definitely deserves full support from the board. He definitely deserves to get the players he needs.
It's such a difficult decision, this one, that Daniel Levy's got, because, right, if he knew 100%, if he was backing him, he would have come out and said it straight away, right after the Europa League, come out and said a big statement of intent. He's staying, he's keeping his job, we'll back him in the window. He hasn't said it yet. Does that tell you he's not going to back him? Or does that tell you he hasn't made his mind up yet?
I think it's a difficult decision. And the reason why I say it's difficult, because yes, they have won the Europa League, which is fantastic. They're back in the Champions League, which is why Daniel Levy wanted that football club. But you can't mask over the fact they finished fourth bottom. That there, you can't. Now, I think most fans would agree with me that the Premier League is far more competitive than the Europa League has been this year. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
In terms of top to bottom, when you look at the teams in the Premier League this season have all had good seasons.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
So I think that's where the stumbling block is, because yes, he deserves a little bit, because of course he's won the Europa League, he's gotten back in the Champions League, but I just don't think you can just kind of look past the fact that they lost 22 games this season. 22 games out of 38.
Insane, isn't
it's
it?
Insane. Like, there's no one on the planet, because you've almost got away with one there. Because if they hadn't won the Europa League, then it's the worst in their history in terms of Premier League.
Yeah.
So I definitely.
Well, it still is the worst in the history of the Premier League.
Exactly, but because they've won the Champions League, and that, I definitely think that for me it's important that whatever decision they come to, they have to make sure they're all on the same page.
What about what type of players Spurs can attract now? Because they've got Champions League football, but players that will be linked to Spurs will be looking at the uncertainty there, and of course the fact that last season in the Premier League they were pretty dross.
Yeah.
What type of level player, or how much money do you think Spurs will be spending on big names? I mean, for argument's sake, Liverpool look like they're going to be spending 125 million on one player, right?
I definitely think it's one of them where there's going to be obviously a certain calibre of player they can attract, and I think now they're in the Champions League, it will definitely be a lot. I wouldn't say they're still not going to get top end, are they? Because you've got the likes of Wirtz going to Liverpool, you've got top players that are going to go to the Cities and the Arsenals, because these guys are at the top. But there'll still be a level of player that they'll be able to attract that are hungry, that are looking to get themselves back in there. Even someone like Acuna, I think he looks like he's going to go Man United. Yes. I can understand that, but that there would be huge. But they've had a good season, but I just don't think Daniel Levy, and rightly so, I think you have to be really sure, because if you let him start next season and all of a sudden they don't win the first game, second game, third game, not that you forget about the Europa League, but it would be like
a little bit like Eric Ten Hag, right? Won the FA Cup.
Yeah, and then they
backed him.
Exactly, but then that's happened to you a couple of times. Even with Ollie, they let him keep going. Yeah. He did well in his loan spell, and then gave him the job. And Van Gaal, so I think he goes. I think we'll go.
What, before the season starts?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's interesting because it was the fact it was the Europa League. It wasn't just silverware, right? Had Spurs had that awful season in Europe and in the Premier League, but won the FA Cup, I don't think it'd be questionable now, would it?
No. If even if they finished mid-table and won the Europa, you'd go, it's a bad season, but okay, we've got away with it, we've won the Europa. The fact they're fourth bottom, like the only three teams worse than them were the team that three that went down.
Yeah, that's insane, isn't it?
You just can't look past that.
Yeah.
You can't.
They can't have that season again. Why do you think they had that season? Why can a team not perform so great, but they won the Europa League, right? You can only beat the teams in front of you. And some of the teams that they played were appalling. But some of the teams in the Premier League that they played were pretty... Was it Ipswich's first win was against Spurs?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I think it was, right?
Yeah, at their gaff.
That's right, at Tottenham's ground, right? So why do you think there's that huge difference when Spurs play in Europe to when they play teams you would think they were going to beat in the Premier League but don't? Why is that?
Again, it's a difficult one. Maybe it's from a tactical standpoint, potentially. Again, I've said it, the opposition in the Premier League are far superior, I think, to the teams that are in the Europa League. And I guess the level of competition, as I said, and that's why I think the Premier League is getting stronger and stronger, because you start looking at, I don't know, fifth downwards. You've got like Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton, these teams, like Palace. So hard to play. If you don't get your tactics absolutely spot on, you're not getting away with it. Whereas in Europe, sometimes you can get away with it, like with certainly two legs and things like that. So I just think now for the Premier League and Big Ange, whatever Daniel Levy decides, he's got to stick with it. So if he goes right, he's not the right man. And even if 10%, 5%, he's like, I'm not sure he's the right man, and it's 95% he is, then he's got to go.
Yeah.
Because there's still some doubt there. Every single time there's a bad result, he'll go.
Yeah.
I ain't sure.
What type of manager do you think they could be looking at? Would it be someone we're familiar with, like a Thomas Frank?
Areola, I think. I think Areola's the one.
Hasn't he said recently that he's not going to leave Bournemouth?
Mate, how many times have you heard that? Come on.
Yeah, that is true.
Do you know what I mean? You got Areola. Thomas Frank would be a great fit as well.
Yeah.
Even Marco Silva. Great season with Fulham. There are managers there with Premier League experience that I think would do a really good job, but either way, if they part ways, like Ten Hag would have left Man United, and he's probably saying to all his mates, he's just got Leverkusen job, hasn't he? But I've won 2 trophies at Man United.
Yeah, and rightly so, right?
And Postecoglou, when he leaves Tottenham, he began, well, I won a trophy there. They couldn't win it before I got there. So then at least if they do part ways, they're parting ways in a kind of amicable way.
Yeah. We're going to part ways in that way that he just said. We've had some unbelievable guests today. We've got a great, I have to say, if you're watching on YouTube, we've got an unbelievable team. So round of applause for the talkSPORT team, everyone, because we can't, all the guests that come, it's all of them getting them, so well done. Just quickly, let's see how good they are. I'll start. James Maddison was here. John Terry was here. Keep going. Who else? Shout them out. Gareth Barry. Who else? Matt Targett. Where's Morgan?
The other fella, what was his name?
Who?
No, the other fella that was here. Chris Hughes.
Chris Hughes was here.
Yeah.
Tony Bellew, I nearly got beaten. I mean, some great names. If you've missed any of this, go to the website, talksport.com, or go to YouTube and watch it again. Good work, Benny. You've been listening to Drive, not you, them. On TalkSport with me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent. We're live from the Centurion Golf Course. We're here for Tottenham and England midfielder James Maddison, who joined us on Drive earlier today at his Golf Invitational. Don't forget, if you want to donate to any of the great causes we're here for today, head to the Instagram page. That's the Maddison Invitational, and you can find the link there. Me and Bennett will be back tomorrow in the studio, where our guests include Joe Cole and Claude Makelele. I mean, literally, I feel like I've won a competition every day when I wake up. Thanks again for your support. Thanks for watching. Stay with talkSPORT. Next up, Hugh Wozencroft has former Premier League midfielder Jermaine Pennant alongside him for kickoff. Have a good evening. Be safe, everyone. Be safe.